Radio Scotland comes from the capital, it comes from Tynecastle Park. It is Heart of Midlothian against Dundee with Rory Loy, Michael Stewart and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Richard. Good evening, everyone. The Premiership's back from its nearly 3-week hiatus for Hearts. They managed to move clear in third place before the break. They're 1 point better off at this stage of the season than they were a year ago. But that brings with it a cautionary tale because they only took 19 points from their last 17 games last season, and that ultimately cost them third place and a spot in European group stage football. They absolutely won't want that to happen again, but they're in good form, unbeaten in 6 games, and a win tonight would take them 8 points clear of Kilmarnock in third place. As for Dundee, they just want to maintain the form that they showed having come up from the Championship over the first half of the season. They have had a bit of a sticky spell recently amid some postponements, just 1 win in their last 7, but they have been good at bouncing back from adversity. They've not lost back-to-back games all season, and having lost to Kilmarnock in the Cup at the weekend, you wouldn't bet against them springing back to life here at Tynecastle this evening. It's another excellent crowd here in Gorgate, not full, but with all that's going on with the weather, cancelled trains and the storm swirling round, it's a mightily impressive effort as the teams line up and get ready for this game. The referee Chris Gilliam just taking out his notebook, making a few scribbles, looking around, getting ready to kick us off. And the Hearts team: Xander Clark in goal, Frankie Kent, Craig Halkett, Stephen Kingsley the back 3, Dexter Limbikisa and Cochrane the wing backs, Beningame, Newmanhoff and Denham in midfield. Lawrence Shankland is back up front alongside Kenneth Vargas. For Dundee, it's Trevor Carson, Lee Ashcroft, Joe Shaughnessy, Jordan McGee, Costello and Dodgson the wing backs, Boateng, Cameron McCowan and Bakayoko and Robinson lead the line as Hearts gets underway, and Halkett pings it forward with the right foot out to the left hand side, headed out for a throw-in to Hearts straight away as they look to pin Dundee back. And Hearts, well, maybe laboured through against League 2 Spartans at the weekend. Get through they did, and now looking to pick up where they left off in the Premiership before the winter break. And here's Halkett looking for an option to pass forward, goes with the right foot to Newmanhoff, back to Kent. He's going to go long with the right foot, looking for the run of Cochrane through the middle. It's controlled by McGee on the chest and away down the pitch. Kingsley will go after it, fetches the ball. Halkett back to Kingsley, and now on to Aidan Denham, the youngster. He's making a good impression in his first full season in the first team. James Wilson, the young 16-year-old who came on against Spartans, he's on the Hearts bench this evening, so young players starting to bleed their way into the Hearts team, with some key players as well away on international duty. Kai Rolls, Nathaniel Atkinson playing for Australia in the Asia Cup. And here's Cochrane down the left for Hearts. Denham back to Cochrane, left-hand side, midway through the Dundee half. Kingsley infield to Beningame. Back to Kingsley. Dundee just forcing Hearts back as they shift it back to Craig Halkett. Well, here's Cochrane for a little gap to pass it through. He's come in field. Dundee holding a strong shape, and it's a long ball as Costello lets that run over, and Limbikisa making his first start. The Wolves low knee for Hearts puts him under pressure, but Costello just shepherds it out for a throw-in on the far side. But a fairly low-key start to the game, Michael Stewart.
Yeah, but Hearts been given plenty time on the ball. Dundee just getting themselves into a shape, making sure that it's difficult to break down. Hearts dominating the ball, low key, yeah, but certainly you can get a sense of the pattern of the game. Dundee just allowing Hearts to get the ball defensively and try to build it, just making sure they're tight and difficult to break.
The Hearts have actually only won 4 of their opening 10 home games. They've been better on the road, winning 7 out of 10 away from home. That's a complete reverse from last season, where they only won 3 away games in the whole of the league campaign. They would like to make sure there's a more even balance, especially entertaining the home fans here who have turned out in their numbers, but they're controlling the ball in the opening nearly 3 minutes here. Here's Denham, right-footed pass to Vargas. 3 in his last 3, including the opener against Spartans at the weekend, coming onto a game, the young Costa Rican on loan. Here's Denham looking looking to slip it through for Shankland. Boateng steps across, intercepts, but Dundee can't retain it. Cameron then wins it back, breaks back for Boateng. Then it's Cameron, plays it in behind for Bakayoko. Flag stays down. Clark comes off his line just to the edge of the box and puts the right boot through it. Good goalkeeping, sweeping in behind. Boateng can't control well in the midfield, and then he takes a late challenge from Shankland in the centre circle. It'll be a Dundee free kick and a chance for them to get a bit of respite. 0-0.
Yeah, it was quite a high line Hearts had there, which they want to do. They want to squeeze the game, but when they give the ball away, Cameron's capable of better. I think he's disappointed with himself. He had a lot of grass to hit, overhit it by quite some distance. But most interesting thing from a Dundee point of view, John McGee's played right wing back before a lot this season, but I think we all expected Ashcroft, Shaughnessy and McGee, and Dodgson's actually playing left centre back. Costello's out at left wing back, so it'll be interesting to see how they cope down that side.
And it's pinged in the direction of Costello, controls it brilliantly on his chest. Lembikisa goes across, and then Costello loses his footing, and it goes out for a throw-in as Lembikisa prods it out.
Thomas, I was just going to say, Rory touched on it there. Lyle Cameron should have done a lot better. He's capable, because Hearts' high line with Bakayoko in behind, it wasn't a difficult ball, and he still almost got to it. Loads of space to find, and he wasn't under any real pressure. That was a wee warning for Hearts there.
Here's a long throw into the Hearts box. Frankie Kent, as he so often does, gets the head on it and puts it out for a corner, but better from Dundee, getting some territory. Set piece, chance to put Hearts under some pressure as Lyle Cameron and Dodgson go across. Dodgson and Costello, the two Burnley players on loan. Of course, Costello was in St Johnstone the first half of the season and found game time by the end of his spell in the first half hard to come by. Dundee managing to swoop in after he was recalled, playing down that left hand side, and it's going to be a corner. Dodgson's going to take it with the left foot. He goes short along the grass to McCowan, drops the shoulder down the left hand side of the box, swung in, flicked away by Hearts on the edge of the 6-yard box. Now Bakayoko goes after it. He's up against Cochrane, right hand side of the box. He pings it in with the left foot, little touch, drops for McGee in the box, blocked brilliantly by Halkett, shot it in from Dundee on the edge, and Hearts managed to scramble it away. Dundee, good quality into the box, and Hearts under a bit of pressure.
Should have done better. Again, that was a great opportunity. I think it was McGee that drops it. He didn't look comfortable when he was making the strike. It was a really nice short corner that Dundee took as well. Luke McCowan getting down the line and putting in a dangerous ball, and then eventually when it dropped to Jordan McGee, I thought he should have done better. He didn't look like he moved his feet and sorted them out quick enough.
Beautiful touch by Cameron to knock it down for McGee as well, inside of the foot volley.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan McGee, he'd be shocked to get the chance, took a bit of time to try and get out his feet, and then allowed Halkett to steam across, and Halkett's got a shout from the long ball from his goalkeeper Xander Clark, who collects it, gives him the thumbs up for the communication. Here's Frankie Kent, right centre back for Hearts, gives it to Limby on the right hand side. He's gone down the line for Neuvenhoff, who's stretching the legs, and it forces Dodgson to come across. Goes back to Trevor Carson, who slips as he clears, and it's going to go out for a throw-in to Hearts on the far side.
Yeah, Stephen Naismith, you know, have watched the Dundee game from the weekend. Both goals that Dundee concede come from Dundee's left-hand side. And you see Dodgson making the foul there, and I just think putting Costello next to Dodgson's first start, we'll wait and see how it plays out, but if I was Hearts and Lembikisa, I'd be giving him the ball and saying run it Costello all day.
Yeah, it's a dangerous position for Dundee to defend as Hearts get the free kick. It was just a little arm on the shoulder from Dodgson, and Hearts free kick right hand side, and Cochrane is across, as is Denham, to whip it in. Goalless here at Tynecastle after 7 minutes. Also goalless in the championship game between Ayr United and Arbroath. Big one at the bottom. We'll keep you across that.
This is the exact position Danny Armstrong's free kick was turned in by Marley Watkins at the weekend.
Well, have Dundee learned their lesson? Cochrane fizzes it in, and it came into the 6-yard box, bounced, and Carson had his hands in there. He was comfortable enough to let that one go by. A dangerous ball.
It was a dangerous ball, but Dundee held a good line. You know, they were high enough up that as the ball was coming in, it wasn't as if it was a problem for Carson with players running across the face of him and concerned that they would get a touch and he'd be wrong-footed. Holding that real high line, it gave him plenty space to see that ball coming through.
There's Limbakisa, nice short with that pass, and Zach Robinson got in, but his challenge breaks for Beningame. Drives forward, then finds Vargas, middle of the pitch, 30 yards out, looking for a pass, nudges it back to Beningame, middle of the pitch. Beningame with the red boots gives it to Kingsley, left-hand side, up from centre back. Receives the pass back from Denham, into Beningame, who miscontrols it, but he's not under any pressure, so gives it back to Halkett. Dundee now back in numbers, as Hearts initially launched the counter through Beningame, and then Shanklin drops in, and he's tried to slip it in behind for Limbakisa. Good idea, but it was too far in front of the wing-back, and Trevor Carson comes up to mop up. 0-0. 8, nearly 9 minutes played here at Tynecastle. I'm interested to see how the wind perhaps affects things. The high stands, of course, sheltering the game somewhat, but winds of up to 50, 60 miles an hour forecast. And here's Hearts coming forward, left-hand side with Denham. He's got 2 men in front of him. He nudges it back onto the right foot, then infield to Neuvenhoff, who's come across, then back on the outside to Kingsley. Doesn't cross it, gives it down the line to Neuvenhoff. Back in the sides. And here's Kingsley, tried to go around the outside of McGee to Cochrane. The defender blocks it, it's out for a throw-in on this near side. Hearts with a majority of possession, yet to fashion a clear chance. Here's Cochrane looking for an option. Shanklin and Denham come outside the penalty area, drops short. Back to Kingsley, who receives it, and in for Denham. Up to the right-hand side of the box, he's looking for a cross, it's blocked. Almost falls for Neuvenhoff, and then the flag goes up for offside. And the chance for Hearts to attack the box is gone. Michael, just wondering, I think, especially here at home, I think some of the complaints, although Hearts have been in really good form up into the break and winning games, that maybe they would like to see the ball go forward a bit quicker, not necessarily, not recklessly so, but trying to get it in the box maybe a bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, the way you want to play football is you want to pass the ball, but there's got to be a purpose to it. There's no point in just passing it around at the back without any purpose, and I think that's a fair enough criticism that the game sometimes has been a little bit slow, a little bit ponderous, and they don't create enough opportunities for me. And a couple of reasons for that is I don't think they've got enough creativity in the team. I don't think they've got enough pace in the team.
Here's Shanklin forward for Denham, now to Vargas, edge of the box, space for the shot on the right foot, but it was low, straight at Trevor Carson. Well, that was better from Hearts, countering forward.
Absolutely, and what happens there is the speed of the play. You know, 1 and 2 touch, they get through the thirds of the park pretty quickly. It's more of that. So there you go, the ball's getting forward quickly, but it's in a controlled fashion, Thomas.
It was a lovely touch by Vargas. It's fired into him by Shanklin as you want it, outside of the boot, killed it dead, extra touch, he just couldn't quite find the corner of the net.
Here's Shanklin, and he was involved in that move as well, dropping deep earlier, and here he is in the centre circle, gives it off to Kingsley, who drives down the left-hand side, gives it back to Denham, infield to Shanklin, who again's dropped, first time pass around the corner to Vargas, good tempo, back to Vargas, edge of the box, he's in the D, sliding tackle from Shaughnessy, and then the low shot as he was falling over from Neuvenhoff goes well wide, but better quickness of passing, Rory.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the wrong decision in the end to shoot. He was off balance. Limbakisa was in so much space out wide. I think just tapping it on one more would have been a better option, but a little bit more intensity to their play.
It's the last 2 moves there going forward. Just better speed in the attack. Playing quick 1 and 2 touch when you get into that final third, it's very, very difficult to defend against. And yeah, I think I'd agree with Rory there that just he was off balance, Neuvenhoff, when he was actually having the strike, and I don't think he needed to rush or panic that.
He's not scored this season. Neuvenhoff, no Hearts goal. Not known for his goal-scoring exploits, and it's floated over for Bakayoko. It's really well intercepted with the head of Stephen Kingsley. It's hooked up in the air by Beningame. Boateng gets something on it with the head. Drops for Neuvenhoff, who hooks it up. It's all very scrappy in the Hearts half. Boateng header looking for McGee, but it was too heavy and out for a Hearts throw-in. Dundee just unable to get the ball under control there. Again, Shanklin dropping really deep to receive that throw-in. Looks in the mood after his few weeks off, not playing against Spartans, of course, due to illness. That news did set a few hairs racing, but he was ill, and straight back in now that he's fit and ready to go. And here's Vargas dropping back over the halfway line, gives it back to Halkett. Low pass to Kent. who's played every game for Hearts this season, floated forward to Neuvenhoff's control with the outside of the right boot, up onto the touchline. He's under a bit of pressure though from Costello, and it's out for a throw-in. Stephen Naismith gathers it and flings it back onto...
That was good to see as well, because you can see Stephen Naismith at the side there. He's telling the team to keep the tempo high. It is important. You saw him, balls out of play, he's picking it up, he's wanting the side to get things going quickly. It's very important, especially at Tynecastle, where the park is not massive. You've got to be playing quickly to break down a side like Dundee here, who make sure they're difficult to break down. If you play with no real speed in the game, it's easy to defend against.
Neuenhoff and Demon are getting a lot of joy, because what's happening is Shankland and Vargas are dropping deep, as you say, Thomas, but the Dundee centre-backs are going all the way with them. Midfield need to make sure they're tracking their runners or they're passing men on.
Here's Robinson, the Dundee striker, receives well, holds onto it, tries to give it to McGee, but Hearts get a foot in, and lovely touch from Baningame in a tight space, just opens up the pitch for him, and he strides up to the halfway line. He's got a pass on to Limbikisa, finds him on the right-hand side, looks to go on the outside. Limbikisa puts the afterburners on, gets the cross in, over Shaughnessy, and then it has to be Lee Ashcroft who heads it behind for a Hearts corner.
Well, I tell you what, Thomas, the few minutes that Limbikisa had against Spartans, he showed more down that right-hand side for me than I've seen in a few years. Hearts have been crying out for somebody that simplifies the game, has pace and is direct, and he's done it there again. You could see as soon as that ball was played out to him, he knew what he was wanting to do. He's wanting to step in field and dive down the line. Got down there, and then he put in a really dangerous ball into the box.
And it's a Hearts corner. Cochrane's gone across to take it. Being swung over the left foot into the near post, and it's a glance just wide. And Hearts are claiming for a corner. The referee signals for a goal kick. Not sure who got the final touch there.
Well, it looked to me like it was a goal kick. I might be wrong, but Stephen Kingley's got to score. He's got to score. He times he's run perfectly, but he's trying to be too intricate with the finish. He's trying to find the corner, just get good contact on it, and it's in the net. But Dundee at the weekend looked very shaky from set pieces, and with the players they've got in their team, they shouldn't be. But a couple of set pieces today as well, they've not looked assured.
I just wonder whether it flicked outside of the post, maybe? Because
I'm being told, I think it's come off Shaughnessy.
Oh, right, OK, because it certainly looked like it changed direction a little bit, and I just wondered. It was very close, but Rory's right. I think that so close there, and he gets a free header in the end. He gets a good run on it, Kingsley. He should be scoring there. Hearts have been bright. I think this is as bright and as lively as I've seen Hearts for a good wee while. Again, Stephen Naismith wanting the game to keep going, get the speed in the game. 15 minutes in, and it's been a good start for Hearts.
And nearly 16 played. It's goalless between Hearts and Dundee at Tynecastle. Stephen Naismith prowling his technical area. He's almost like another ball boy over there.
He's getting frustrated. He's at the fourth official, because every time Trevor Carson has it, he's taking his time, he's ambling. And I think it's the same with the throw-ins, and they're trying to take the sting out of Hearts' play, as you would if you were the away team.
Carson, the Dundee keeper, goes long with the right boot. Costello is up there. Limbikisa does his job. It looks, Michael, like there's often been levelled at Hearts of criticism, maybe a lack of pace, athleticism in their team.
Yep.
And he certainly looks like he's got that in abundance.
Limbikisa, yeah, you can see he's lively, and just that ability to be able to take a man on 1v1. There's not enough of them in the Hearts side, so with him coming in there, I know he's obviously a right back or right wing back, but the way that Hearts play, there obviously is a big emphasis on those wing backs given width, and if he's capable, like it looks like he is, of beating players 1v1, then that's a positive addition to the team.
Bakayoko running down the right-hand side. Halkett's going back to marshal him. Defender gets back in, and he's tussling with Bakayoko, who goes down, and then it's back up for Halkett as well to stab it out for a throw-in on this near side.
Hearts are getting the throw in there. I'm not quite sure how that was a shy at Hearts. It looked to me, I might be wrong, I don't know what you guys think, but it looked to me as if Craig Halkett got his toe round and nicked it out.
Yeah, well, that's how I saw it, but the linesman is quite a bit closer than us, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, it looked as if he was all of 3 yards.
Indeed. And here is Frankie Kent bringing it out for Hearts. Got McCowan in front of him, goes back to the goalkeeper, but yeah, Limbikisa looked lively. On loan at Rotherham in the Championship in the first half of the season, played regularly 27 times, got 1 goal. Now trying to make an impact at Hearts. Second half of the season as Denham tries to get in down the left-hand side. Cameron came across to cover, and Dundee clear. It's back with Halkett in defence. Goes back to Xander Clark. reinstalled between the sticks for Hearts this evening. 10 clean sheets in the Premiership this season, as Hearts look for the long ball for Limbikisa, but asking a wee bit too much of him, and it bounces and skips into the arms of Trevor Carson.
That run again by Denham. Cameron does so well to track him, but he's going to have a long night, Cameron, if they continue to do that.
There's Bakayoko, who's got it again on the right hand side, and he's crossed it in for Zach Robinson. Header, brilliant save, Xander Clark. Brilliant stop from the Hearts keeper. Well, that's the kind of form he's in. Great header from Robinson, and that's the best chance of the game so far. And Dundee with Dodgson flings it to the back post, where it laid off to McGee. He's put it into the corner of the net, and then the flag goes up for offside. Jordan McGee is denied a brilliant goal. Of course, it will be checked by VAR, but that was breathless stuff from Dundee.
Oh, it was an unbelievable touch from Bakayoko. He plucks it out there, side foots it, kills it dead for Jordan McGee to step onto and wrap it into the far corner of the net, and Xander Clark stood no chance after making a quite outstanding save from Robinson, who did everything that Kingsley didn't.
Yeah, I've got to say, my instinct was that it's probably the right call, because when it came over, he just looked like he was a little bit too deep, Bakayoko, but taking nothing away from the touch and the finish. Absolutely sublime from Dundee. And yeah, before that, it was, I mean, these are the best, you know, for as good as Hearts have been, and they've been lively, Dundee have had the best opportunities in the game.
Well, Jordan McGee is down in front of us. I mean, told it's extremely tight, this call, so it could take some time.
It's the angle it comes in at as well. It travels so far, and it's difficult. It's going to be a difficult one to call, I think, if it is that tight, but we shall see.
Well, Jordan McGee down in front of us on the halfway line, waiting to see if he's got a first goal of the season for Dundee, and what a goal it was. Cushioned into his path on the edge of the box, and he just gives it a beautiful shaped shot with the right foot into the corner. Let's go pit side to Brian McLaughlin, who I think's seen a replay.
Yeah, I've had a look at this, and well, the goal's been given.
Yeah, goal is given. The referee points to the centre circle, and Dundee hit the front at Tynecastle. The home side have had the possession, but it's Dundee who've had the chances, and Jordan McGee's wonder strike is the difference. Hearts 0, Dundee 1.
What a finish. I mean, you know, obviously, look, the linesman's put his flag up, but I think we're all quite clear in our credit and our sorry, I'm just looking down here at the part, and the credit given to Dundee, because that was a really, really good goal. Well worked. They first of all had that first phase where the header came in. Good save from Xander Clark. Wonderful goal from Dundee. They've been the best opportunities. It's not just that one. The one before, where Jordan McGee didn't sort his feet out particularly well. They've deserving it in terms of the opportunities that they've had so far. Hearts will be very disappointed, because overall performance has been quite good, but just not really been able to fashion a clear-cut opportunity.
Yeah, that is a brilliant strike from Jordan McGee, and the flag went up straight away, and seems like it was a really tight call for the linesman to make.
I think Brian was going to say it was the right call and it was offside. It seems as if he was surprised with that. Would that be right, Brian?
Yes, absolutely. I'm still not convinced that was the right call. It's very close, but the Dundee player was going forward, the Hearts defender was moving away from goal, but it was, I would say, marginally offside, but the goal's been given.
Well, I've got to say, the game that I was at the Celtic Park, 4 offside goals, I think. I'm not convinced there was all of them that were right either. Even though they drew lines on the park, I'm still not convinced they were all right.
Yeah, well, the goal stands. Dundee lead Hearts by a goal to 0. Quarter of this game gone. And here's Beningame, picks it up for Hearts out to Limbikisa, right hand side of the Dundee box. Costello's in front of him, puts it onto the right foot. He's chipped the cross in, but it's gone through to Trevor Carson. Just a few groans around Tynecastle.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke before the game about Dundee being a completely different outfit to the one that had taken part in the Premiership in the last couple of attempts, and I think that's coming to fruition tonight. You can really see, although they're happy to soak up pressure, they're so well structured going forward. They've got a real identity about them, bit of a buzzword these days, but it's true. We're up here, we've got a great vantage point, and you can see it. Very, very good width on the pitch, good diagonal pass, lovely touch, and that is an unbelievable finish from McGee.
You know, as much as they were under a bit of pressure from Hearts, it didn't look, there was no panic. You know, it was okay. Said it after a couple of minutes, you could see the pattern of the play in regards to Dundee allowing Hearts to build the game, make sure they're difficult to break down. Hearts have been good on the whole. They've been definitely livelier than I've seen them. But Dundee they weren't as if they were stretched and hanging on and panicking. It was almost like, okay, we can handle this. We've got an idea of what it is we're trying to do when we're in possession as well. And credit to them, they've got their noses in front and have now got something that they can build upon.
A lot of stoppage in play here because I think Aidan Denham has gone down with an injury. The Hearts physios are on just in front of us, making sure he's okay. Dundee have the leads. Jordan McGee's brilliant strike from the edge of the box separates them from Hearts. It's goalless in the big game at the bottom of the Championship between Ayr United and Arbroath. Arbroath 2 points adrift of Ayr at the foot of the second tier. And Winwoods take them above them, so big game. We'll keep you across that as best we can. And yeah, Hearts, Aidan Denham just getting some treatment. He went down, I don't know what happened, but he went down, sat down. It didn't look like there was an impact, but it might happen before, so we'll see if he's okay to continue. But he's been good for Hearts recently. It's been a fantastic story for him. He was due to be released, and then Stephen Naismith came in, reversed that, and he's back in, signed a 3-year deal, and a big part of the Hearts first team. He's back on his feet as he walks off the near touchline in front of us. Hearts will be temporarily down to 10 as they take the throw in, and he jogs back on, so he looks okay, moving fairly freely, the midfielder. But Hearts are a goal down, and the pass from Kent was looking for Shankland, cut out, and it's back down the pitch for a throw-in. And Hearts haven't really recovered from that goal. A couple of stoppages in play, struggling to get some momentum in the tempo that they showed just before going behind, really, where they had a couple of lovely little interchanges into the Dundee box. Here's Shankland midway through his own half, and he takes a touch and pings it nonchalantly over to Stephen Kingsley on this left-hand side, back in for Halkett, onto Kent, who sprints over the halfway line into the touchline with Lembikisa, who's touched it infield, gives it away. Shaughnessy plays it out. Halkett, Dundee, when they don't have the ball, just content to sit in and soak up, keep a good shape. As Robinson tries to put some pressure on Kent. Hearts, you can hear the stadium just quiet, a bit of frustration, watching their sides, wants to see some more impetus going forward.
Yeah, well, I did say a couple of times in the first 10 minutes I wasn't sure about Costello and Dodgson maybe playing next to each other. Dodgson possibly slightly out of position, he's more natural fullback, but they've been excellent so far.
Throw into Dundee on the far side, down the line. Robinson gets a header on it, cleared by Kingsley. Shaughnessy wins it ahead of Shankland, then it's back up with Bakayoko's been brilliant, and he lays it off to Lyle Cameron, then on to Zach Robinson down the left-hand side. He's up towards the left corner of the box, but Benengame's challenge doesn't come off. Robinson's still going, he's into the box, and eventually Craig Halkett steps in with a strong challenge. That was brilliant from Zach Robinson. And now Hearts counter down the left with Vargas. One-on-one with Ashcroft. He's going to try and get himself into the box, gives it into Shankland, touches it, and it's a poor one. Shaughnessy makes the challenge, clears to Benengame. Here's Kent, strokes it to Lembikisa. Right-hand corner of the Dundee box, and then his pass intended for Neuvenhoff was poor. And again, Dundee clear.
I think it was his first touch, Thomas. It was all wrong. It just put him in an area where it was difficult for him to dive outside the defender again. I think if he'd got his first touch right, he would have been facing Costello up and trying to take him on the outside.
Here's Vargas again on the left-hand side. He's going backwards towards his own goal, and Bakayoko breathing down his neck. Vargas just gets it away. Hearts go to the other side with Lembikisa. Thinks about going down the outside, which he does. Dummies the cross, back in on the left foot. He's floated into the middle, and Denham was in the 6-yard box, and it just evades his touch. And it'll be go behind for a goal kick to Dundee.
Almost there. I think Costello just had anticipated what he was trying to do, get down the line, and credit to Lembikisa because he just nicks back inside and in on the left foot. slightly too much on the ball, but good play. He shows that he's comfortable in those 1v1s, which is, as I said already, is definitely an improvement for Hearts. Dundee at the moment just look comfortable. You know, they're 1-0 up defensively, look like they've got a bit of confidence about them. They don't look panicked.
Dundee have only lost one of the 9 games this season where they've scored first. Won 5 of them, drawn the other 3. We always hear managers talking about the importance of the first goal in the Premiership. Hearts, though, will fancy themselves to get back in this game. They did so in the last home game against Ross County, 2-0 down.
I'm not sure that's a free kick. I don't know about you. It just looked to me as if there's eventually a coming together of the players, but I don't think it looked like he flicked out, made a challenge. It just sort of continued a bit of momentum.
It's been a bit sort of stop-start since the goal, which was 10 minutes ago now. We've played 29 at Tynecastle. Dundee leading Hearts by a 0-0. And here comes Halkett into the centre circle, into Kingsley. A couple of steps forward into Denham, who opens up the pitch, puts it forward, but a brilliant tackle from McCowan to knock it off his stride, and then Kent steps into the game. He's up to the edge of the box, gives it to Vargas, looking for space to shoot, shifts it onto the right foot, but Dundee close the space, then it's off to Lembikisa, drives it with the right foot, it's straight at Carson, but a good effort from the Hearts wing-back.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how sweetly he caught it. He looked like he maybe sliced it ever so slightly, but still shot on target. But really unnecessary pass there. I think it was Ashcroft who played it into Bakayoko. I don't think there's any need for that. If you're Bakayoko there, make the pitch longer. And if you do give the ball away, it's not breathing down the neck of your defence.
Halkett heads it out of defence for Hearts. Boateng gets it, gives it to McGee, breaks back for him, and Shaughnessy, the captain, who goes all the way back to Trevor Carson, who's pinged it forward. Costello challenges but loses out. Breaks for Beningaby in midfield. He's hacked it forward, and Noivanov's going to go across. So that's Trevor Carson. He smells at his goal, controls it on the chest, and then takes a swipe and misses. He's wanting the foul from Noivanov. He felt he was pulled back. It's a throw-in to Hearts.
Yeah, it was a fresh air swipe. Trevor Carson's left leg's in rose head somewhere.
I know, watch the groin, Trevor. It was tried to absolutely lash it, missed it. Hearts now on the left-hand side. Kingsley's going to put that cross in. It's over Shanklin. Costello gets a flick on it. It's for Lembikisa. Low cross to Shanklin, over the bar, over the crossbar. It wasn't the easiest opportunity for Lawrence Shanklin's, and he passes up the chance. Hearts trailing by a 0-0.
Yeah, he's shown good attributes, and not only that, Lembikisa, he gets the ball there after it crosses from one side to the other, and it must be very, very tempting just to stick it across the face of goal. He lifts his head, cuts it back, picks Shanklin out. It's not an easy chance when it's coming at you at that pace. However, he's capable, Shanklin, but not on this occasion.
Yeah, and there's another injury for Hearts down in the box. Is it Denham again? I think it is, yeah. Physio's obscuring him, but it is indeed Aidan Denham, so he's clearly got a problem. Didn't quite see what it was, and if it's a contact injury or muscle or what. He tried to play on, but he's surely going to have to come off now. He's shaking his head, and the home fans applaud him because he's made a bright start to this game in the opening half hour, but he makes way. Surely he's gone off the pitch. Hearts getting ready to make a substitution, I think, and that's disappointing because, as you've said, Rory, he's picked up some good positions.
Yeah, he has. Himself and Neuenhofer, the ones who are breaking the lines when Vargas and Shanklin decide to come towards the ball.
So, looks like Alan Forrest is going to be the one to come on. So, I'll be interested. Don't know if they go Vargas and Forrest out wide and 2 in midfield. But whether looks like Forrest is having a word with Vargas. Forrest looks like he's going to play on the left-hand side at midfield or more on the wing. We'll see. He's on the pitch anyway. Having started on the right-hand side against Spartans at the weekend. Signed a new deal recently, of course, Alan Forrest to 2026. Here's Shanklin, and he's tried to hook it in behind for Vargas. He's got good pace, and he nudges Dodson. It breaks for Vargas, no foul. It's Vargas, and he's lashed it over the crossbar. And how has he missed that? And has the free kick been given? No, I don't think it has.
It looks like it has.
It looks like it has, but
why? It's not an offside. So if it's a free kick, the ref should be blowing his whistle and giving a free kick. It's not a case of play on and then see if he scores and then you give a free kick.
unless, yeah.
Well, it's not. It's
Unless,
it's a nonsense.
That's exactly what we're told wouldn't happen. You know, that's using VAR as an out. You know, if he scores, then you know.
But it's not. But it doesn't even. It's not VAR. It's just the referee that's given that himself because he gave it as soon as the ball went over the crossbar.
But if he scores, VAR will check it.
The referee's thinking if he scores, VAR will bail me out. But if he thinks it's a foul, he should be given. You're absolutely right, Michael.
Here's Bakayoko up the other end, and he tries to play Robinson behind Clark. Gets off his line.
And by the way, that's one I would want to see again. I'm not convinced it is a free kick. I think it's one of those where there's a really good ball. Yes, there's contact between the two of them, but does Vargas do enough to fill Dodson? I'm not sure. Certainly, I may well change my opinion if I saw a replay, but watching that in real time, I could understand why Dundee would be claiming for it. But I can also understand why the ref perhaps let it play on, although he did give a free kick in the end.
Well, he spared Kenneth Vargas's blushes because he was clear through in the box. It bounced for him, and he smashed it over the crossbar. It was a poor finish from a man who's been in good form, coming onto a game. Young player over from Costa Rica, starting to really make an impact. That was a poor one, but referee Chris Graham did belatedly blow for a free kick. 34 played. It's Hearts 0, Dundee 1.
Yeah, he certainly should have done better with the finish, although he didn't know a foul was going to be given. He's just got to pick a side, I think, and show a bit of composure.
Hearts trailing, trying to get it out from the back. Hits off the back of Vargas. Lembekisa hooks it forward. Shankland loses it to Shaughnessy. Alan Forrest controls it, but Lyle Cameron nicks it off him. And it's McGee, the goal scorer. That's it. Run behind him, and then he goes back to Trevor Carson, who hammers it forwards. Headed by Kent. McCowan, side foot for Bakayoko, who's been relentless up there for Dundee, you have to say. And he's gone down wanting the free kick, which he's not going to get. Roundly booed by the Tynecastle faithful. And here is Forrest, a substitute replacing Hayden Denham, and Bakayoko is still down. Hearts have no need to put the ball out because it's not a head injury. And here is Lembekisa trying to go around the outside, and he's kept it in as well. He's right on the right hand touchline, crossing. Took a little deflection off Shaughnessy, I think, but it spun into the arms of Trevor Carson.
He's done that enough times now, Lembekisa, that if you're the midfield if you're Forrest or Vargas, as soon as he gets the ball, you leave him and you hit the box. Because there's a few times it's come in now and there's not been enough maroon jerseys inside the box.
Thrown out by Carson to Ashcroft, and he's gone with a long ball with the right foot. Dundee claim it took a nick, it didn't. Hearts throw. Cochrane throws it down the line. Shankland takes it on the left-hand side, touching away from Shaughnessy, who sticks with him though. Shankland needs support, gets it from Cochrane. Cochrane with a touch towards the byline, but then he's tackled, and then it's hoofed long, and Kingsley doesn't control brilliantly, but he recovers and gets to the ball ahead of Bakayoko, who's been excellent. Kent up to moving off, back to Kent. Hearts looking for an equaliser. 9 minutes plus whatever time is added to the break. Cleared by Ashcroft. Downfield. Here's Kent. Back to Xander Clark, who won't be adding to his clean sheet tally this evening. Worth remembering though the save he made just before Dundee scored. The Robinson header. Terrific stop. Not much he could have done, at least from this angle. But Jordan McGee's sweetly struck shot, and then Hearts go with a long ball in behind, but it skips off the greasy surface and behind harmlessly for a goal kick to Dundee.
I know that Dundee are obviously compact and they're very well organised and drilled, but honestly, Hearts, it's no surprise they're looking at somebody like Scott Fraser. Now, whether he's the answer or not, time will tell if he comes in and does a job, but they are so lacking in creativity in that final third. Players that can go and actually make something happen, a wee slide rule pass, a shot from the edge of the box, these types of things, because Neuenhoff hasn't have that in his game. He's got a bit of running power, he's got no real technical ability. Benny Beningame is obviously a defensive midfielder, and by the way, if you take Benny Beningame out the Hearts midfield, they're in dire straits. Dire straits. He's out of contract this summer. They are desperate to get him signed up.
And Costello nicks away, it's in for Cameron in their box. Lyle Cameron makes it 2-0 to Dundee. Brilliant finish from the young midfielder. Cost the local Hearts in possession. He prodded it into the box. Cameron gets on the end of it and slides it into the corner beyond Xander Clark. It's Hearts 0, Dundee 2.
Yeah, he shows all the composure that Vargas didn't at the other end. And I tell you what, we've spoken about Dundee sitting comfortably, sitting deep, but when they press when the time is right, and they did it there. They did it really well. Costello gets the nick to play it through to Cameron. Left-footed finish below Xander Clark. 2-0 Dundee.
The thing is as well, I don't know about you, Rory, but see, as soon as Lyle Cameron, hungry, quick onto the ball, as soon as he was running onto that ball, I had no doubt he was going to find the back of the net there. Real good composure. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Thomas, as well. That comes from Hearts shy. The ball into Lawrence Shankland, and as Rory said, Dundee are right on top of them. Real pressure, get the turnover, then Hearts are forced into a slack ball that they're on to win again. That's very, very good play from Dundee.
Yeah, you guys have said it. Dundee just looks so well coached. You can press, but it's not headless chicken stuff. It's wait for your moment to strike. Sideways passes from Hearts, and you get the pressure right on.
Well, Hearts were no bad for the first 20 minutes or so, but as soon as Dundee scored that first goal, I think Hearts have stepped off. They've not been as quick in their play. It's been a little bit more ponderous, and Dundee have grown in confidence and belief that their game plan is bearing fruit.
And then there's another good bit of pressure on from Cameron. This time though, he gives away the foul. Tripped Beningame. There wasn't a huge amount in it, but free kick given, and you can listen to the home fans, a mix of frustration at the foul, the time it's taken to take the free kick, and their own team, who are 2 goals down inside 40 minutes at home. And I mentioned the fact they've only won 4 of 10 at home this season, and then Shaughnessy gets ahead on the Hearts free kick, and another as it was helped back in, and Cameron flicks it away only as far as Limbakisa, helps it back into the box, and it breaks for Kingsley, but then Dundee get the throw in, miscontrolled, and Dundee ultimately comfortable. 2-0 in front. And I did mention in the build-up the fact that although they've only won 1 of their last 7 in all competitions, they've not lost back-to-back games all season. They do really bounce back well. Part of the reason why they're doing so brilliantly on their top-flight return. Hearts throw in midway through the Dundee half. Cochrane has it in his arms. Throws it short to Forrest. Back to Cochrane. Back to Forrest, and that was a strong tackle from Jordan McGee, and he's going to get a yellow card. It was really late.
Look, they're showing hunger and desire to go and win a game, and then there's just been a little bit stupid, and that for me was falling into the stupid category, because Jordan McGee goes in on Cochrane there. Cochrane's going nowhere. You know, yes, get into his face and show a bit of determination to close him down, but you didn't need to go sliding into him there. You've got so many bodies around in a tight area. Now it allows Hearts to throw a ball into the box, and Dundee have got to be on their game here to defend it.
Cochrane's free kick 3-4 yards in from the left-hand touchline. Whip it in with the left foot. Here he comes, crosses into the near post. Halkett's in there, and Boateng just about gets something on it behind for a corner.
He does well, Boateng, because it's across the front post before anyone else, because it's fallen right into that danger area, right in front of Carson. Does very well there, Boateng.
Hearts corner, can they get a goal back before the break? 41.5 played. Cochrane's corner with the left foot. It's a high one. Header on it, and then it's claimed for a handball. It did look like it struck an arm, but his arms were by his side as far as I could see. Shaughnessy, I think, and then flag goes up on the
I think it's getting checked for exactly what you're probably talking about.
Yeah, I think it did come off an arm, but it's just whether it was in an unnatural position or not. It's Kingsley's header, I think.
Clearly the linesman, the referee's just getting the game to be held up, because he's obviously been told that they're looking at it.
Yeah, well, game on. I think no penalty yet. Referee's blown the whistle.
I think because the ball went out of place so quickly after the incident, that's why he's obviously had to hold the game up.
Here's Kingsley in the centre circle for Hearts. Spins under pressure from Robinson, just gets it away. Halkett out to Limbakisa. Wonderful feet from Limbakisa up to the right-hand corner of the box, and then his final ball is woeful. It's into the stands, but, well, that's what you call fast feet.
Yeah, I mean, look, the end product, the final ball is disappointing, but he's shown more than enough in this little spell he had against Spartans in the first half here to certainly suggest that he is a welcome addition to the Hearts side. Disappointing, obviously, they're 2-0 down, but they seem to have found somebody on the right-hand side who can actually do something.
Shankland hits it first time looking for Vargas, and then Dodgson puts it back to his goalkeeper under a wee bit of pressure. And Hearts 2 minutes to the break, and they trail by 2-0. Still goalless between Ayr United and Arbroath in the Championship. Big game at the bottom. Scott Brown, of course, installed as the new Ayr manager, not in the dugout this evening. Here's Halkett in the centre circle. Dundee sitting in their shape. Here's Limbikisa. Hearts looking for him on that right-hand side. Pass into Vargas, who tried to hold off Dodgson, then he's won it back off him. Boateng mops up in the middle of the pitch, and then McGee clears. Header from Kingsley, flicked on by Forrest, but it falls for Shaughnessy, and he's got enough time to take a touch. And it's sent back by Kingsley. It bounces out for a throw-in, and you can just feel the frustration boiling up here at Tynecastle.
Yeah, it's good decision making from Shaughnessy there, and I think it was Carson as well at one point earlier on. You know, if it's not on to play, they're capable of playing, and they have done at times, but I think they're quite happy getting the ball away from their goal and saying to Hearts, right, on you come, we'll back ourselves to stop you scoring.
And then again, Frankie Kent almost caught by McCowan, and it's forward now for Dodgson to head out for a throw into Hearts on the far side. We've almost played the 45 minutes of the first half. Dundee 2 goals up on Hearts. Neuvenhoff takes the throw and gives it back to Limbikisa, moves it out his feet, gets to the byline, crossed the near post where Shaughnessy was waiting to head it away. McCowan takes it on the chest under pressure from Beningame, gives him a little nudge, and it's out for a Dundee throw on the far side. As Dundee try and just see out this half without conceding. 4 minutes are being added at the end of this first half, so still some time to go. It's half time at Somerset Park. Ayr 0, Arbroath 0. And Dodgson is going to take the throw in. We're listening to Sport Sounds live on BBC Radio Scotland Extra. First Scottish Premiership game back after the winter break, and it's been a compelling one. We're into the 4 minutes of added time.
The amount of times that Hearts try to play, you know, and look, you have to try and stretch the game at times as well, but try and play those balls in behind the defence, because they've got nobody in the middle of the park that's actually capable of taking the ball and breaking down a defence. I mean, Luke McCowan and Lyle Cameron are far superior to anything Hearts have got in that area of the park. That midfield for Dundee have cruised the game as far as I'm concerned. Boateng just sitting, Cameron and McCowan in front.
And here's a little, oh, that would have been close. Bakayoko laid it off for Cameron, who tried to return it round the corner, but it didn't come off, and now it's over the top for Shankland to chase. Can he keep it in at the byline? He can. It goes behind for a goal kick to Dundee, but yeah, that was a really good passage of play from Dundee. They just knocked it about. It initially came from Boateng, squeezing it through a little gap, and they kept the ball, moved it up the pitch really well. Just couldn't quite thread it through up the other end for Bakayoko. And the referee, was that an offside call against Lawrence Shankland, I think, because Trevor Carson's going to take a free kick outside his own box.
I think he actually gave it for the push, similar to what he did for Vargas's blaze over the bar.
Dundee free kick anyway. They've played almost 2 of the 4 added minutes at the end of this first half. Boateng's header, Beningame misses it. He's got time to get it away to Forrest. Forrest back to Beningame, then Neuvenhoff. Pass back to Cochrane, takes a touch. He's under pressure immediately from Cameron. Manages to square it to Halkett. And on to Frankie Kent, who stepped over halfway. Low pass into the feet of Vargas. It's Red, picked off, breaks for Robinson, who is tackled by Kent. Dundee throw. Dundee have been disciplined out of possession, and they've been effective with it at times.
He read the game well there, Dodgson. Just stepped in. As soon as the head goes down from the defender to play the pass, that's when he's on his bike.
Kingsley, left-hand side. Forrest now. Cochrane makes a run in behind McGee, and he's got there. Left-hand side of the box, low cross, cut out by Ashcroft at the near post. Good defending. First, one of the few times Hearts have got in behind Dundee there with Cochrane making the run.
It was a lovely ball from Forrest to get Cochrane in behind, but you're right, they've not been in behind a great deal.
Here's Shankland, right hand side of the box, got Shaughnessy for company, gives it back outside to Vargas, then in for Limbakisa. Neuvenhoff was in there, can't get there. Costello helps it to Robinson as it breaks for Dundee. Robinson goes down, wants the free kick, doesn't get it, but Dundee come away with the ball anyway. Cameron moves it on, now Boateng. Now McCowan's under pressure, turns away from Vargas really well, he's still got it. Neuvenhoff comes in a sliding challenge. Dodgson and Neuvenhoff going in, and it comes off the Dundee player. Hearts throw on the far side. We've got about 40 seconds left of the 4 added.
I mean, that all comes from, for me, Robinson's getting the shirt taken off his back. You can see it. And how the referee can't from the position he's standing in, I'm not quite sure.
Throw in far side to Hearts. Can they get a goal back? This will probably be the last opportunity for them to do so before the referee's whistle sounds for the break. Throw in to Forrest, first time back. It's helped into the box. Shankland trying to hold off Shaughnessy, gets something on it. Almost bounced for Vargas. Ashcroft gets a clearance. And then here's Lyle Cameron looking for a pass. He just
good ball,
bends it into McCowan's path, and then McCowan takes a few touches. He's driving forward. Beningami's back. He touches it away from Beningame, who recovers and gets it out for a throw-in.
I'm not sure what Craig Halkett was doing there. He stepped out of the defence and just left a gaping hole. You could see he was never going to get the end of it, and look, McCowan was stepping onto it.
And you can hear the boos. I mean, it's half-time at Tynecastle. Big round of applause from the away ends, packed away end of Dundee fans, because they've seen a brilliant first half from their sides. It's been disciplined as Hearts had the bulk of possession, but when they've had the ball, they've looked mightily effective, and they've crucially got 2 goals in front. The first one came in 19 minutes, just a moment after Xander Clark had pulled off a brilliant save to deny Zach Robinson. Bakayoko laid it into McGee's path on the edge of the box. He stroked a wonderful shot into the top corner. The linesman's flag initially went up for offside in the build-up, but VAR corrected that. The goal stood, and Dundee got themselves in front. And then the second arrived, 39 minutes. Brilliant press as Hearts looked to play out from their own throw-in. Costello got on the front foot, he nicked it off the Hearts player, he stabbed it into the box, and Lyle Cameron was alert to latch onto it, and he just passed it into the corner beyond a helpless Xander Clark. And Hearts, well, they've huffed and puffed really. I think the home fans have seen a lot of these performances here at Tynecastle this season, where they've had a lot of the ball, but not enough spark, not enough invention. Kingsley had a header that came off Shaughnessy. Shankland had a shot that was laid back to him that he scooped over the bar. Limbakisa had a long drive as well, which was comfortable enough for Trevor Carson. But Hearts simply have not done enough. At half-time at Tynecastle, it is Heart of Midlothian 0, Dundee 2.
On digital radio.
Online at BBC Sports Scotland.
Or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
There's no substitute. The sound of winter in Glasgow is the sound of Celtic connections.
The Folk, Roots and World Music Festival transforms the city.
Musicians from around the globe and across the country come together to light up the dark nights.
BBC Radio Scotland is at the heart of it this week with the Key Sessions.
There's music and conversation on the Burnsday edition of the afternoon show.
Exclusive performances on travelling folk.
And a great night of dancing on Take the Floor.
BBC Radio Scotland at Celtic Connections. Starts tomorrow night at 8.
Please welcome to the Key Sessions, King Creosote.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So half-time at Tynecastle, Hearts 0, Dundee 2, a voluble round of boos as the whistle went and the players left the pitch. Jordan McGee and Lyle Cameron with the goals that have Tony Docherty's side very much in the driving seat. Half-time in the Championship is Ayr United 0, Arbroath 0. If you missed the news earlier, Scott Brown has been confirmed as the new Ayr United manager, with Stephen Whittaker assisting him. And Chelsea down south look set for the EFL Cup final, 3-0 up after, 39 minutes in the second leg of their semi-final against Middlesbrough. They'd lost the first game by 1-0, but a house and own goal. Fernandez and Disasi with the goals for Chelsea, who are 3-0 up, 3-1 on aggregate. The other second leg is tomorrow night when Fulham take on Liverpool, looking to claw back a 2-1 deficit from the first leg at Anfield. Remember, Sports Scene is on tomorrow night at 10:40. You'll get highlights then of the game that we're bringing you commentary from this evening at Tynecastle. You'll also get the best of the action from the two matches being played tomorrow night: Hibernian against Rangers and St Johnstone against Aberdeen. So 2-0 it is for Dundee. Got to say, Michael, Dundee have been absolutely clinical, haven't they, when the chances have been presented?
Yeah, they have. I mean, even before, when the first goal goes in, you know, at that stage, 20 odd minutes, I think it was, that they'd had the better opportunity. There's one or two just before that. The one immediately before with the header, and also the one that had dropped to Jordan McGee, that he just wasn't able to get his feet into position quickly enough. And have grown as the half has gone on. They thoroughly deserve their lead. I think Hearts started the game brightly. First 20 minutes or so looked like they had a little bit more pace in their game, but as soon as Dundee scored that first goal, I've got to be honest and say that Hearts have been poor. They've become slow and ponderous and predictable, and Dundee, their game plan is working a treat, and they've just got better and better. They've looked more dangerous as the half has worn on, and Tony Docherty will be absolutely delighted with that first half.
Yeah, he will be. Rory, his team has, well, given everything he would have wanted.
Yeah, and more. I think you can demand a work rate, you can demand an attitude and application. I don't think you can expect Jordan McGee, your right wing back, to bend an absolute beauty. I mean, we've got a great angle of it right at the top of the stand, looking down on it, and there's only one bit of a net he can hit, really, and that's kissing it off the post into the back of the net that Xander Kirk's not going to get to, and that's exactly what he did. And Hearts have got, you know, stating the obvious here, they're 2-0 down. They've got a massive problem because, you know, Dundee, you know, in years gone by, maybe have come in and, you know, tried to nick a goal and sat deep and parked the bus. The problem Hearts have got is if they want to try and score 2 or 3 goals, they cannot be ill-disciplined. They cannot throw everyone forward because Dundee will score again. So they need to find a way to build the play, but be a lot quicker in possession to try and break Dundee down, because if they just throw everyone forward and lack discipline, Dundee will score again.
I mean, Hearts have had the chances, haven't they? There was the early one, Vargas. I mean, I suppose he created it himself. It was a low shot, comfortably saved. But the two big ones were for Shankland and Vargas in the space of a couple of minutes. I've got to say, Michael, in terms of the second one, I tend to agree with you. I wasn't sure that there was a foul on Dodgson as Vargas went through. I think he was just simply stronger. But it was a big, big miss, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in the end it's irrelevant because he blazes it over the crossbar. I mean, it's one that I'm comfortable with changing my mind if I saw a replay, but certainly in open play, I'm not surprised that it's given in the end, because you see it so often when it's the last defender. If there is a bit of a coming together or a bit of contact, sometimes the referee will just panic and blow his whistle. But the crazy thing here is that he's allowed it to play on, he's missed and then pulled it back, which didn't really make any sense. But that was a huge opportunity for Vargas, and he just snatched it, wanted to leather it into the back of the net when he could have, you know, done a few other things other than just trying to leather it. But I mean, look, for me, Hearts have got so much improvement to do. I said it in the half there. They lack so much creativity. So often, understandably at times, you want to stretch the opposition, want to get the ball in behind the defence early. But to do that, part of it is also obviously trying to get on the end of the ball, but it's also to try and create a little bit of space in between the defence and midfield of the opposition to try and get some of your creative players on the ball. Hearts don't have them.
Michael, you've seen a lot more than Hearts. I mean, Alex Lowry, was he not brought in to do that?
Didn't play, Rory.
Why? Why didn't he not play then?
Well, in large part, I would just say, look, this is not to give Alex Lowry a get out of free jail card or a free pass here, because I think he has to do more. His career is on the precipice now in regards to where he could get to and where it's heading. I think he needs to do a lot more, but I'm not sure that Hearts and the manager knew how to play him. I'm not sure they had a pattern of play for exactly that, to get people into those areas. Because
he's the player you're describing when you talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. But it concerns me and it worries me that I just don't see that you know, patterns of play to get these dangerous creative players on the ball in these areas. Dundee are starting to do it. They've got McCowan, they've got Cameron, they're popping it about, they've got some good movement. and you're now starting to see them picking that ball up, you know, probably 40, 50 yards from Hearts' goal, running at the back line now. And Rory's right that this is a Dundee side that have grown in that first half, and if Hearts are not careful, they are capable of scoring more goals, Dundee, here.
Right, I'm going to get your thoughts on the two Dundee, further thoughts on the two Dundee goals. Brian, Hearts going to make another change at half-time. Of course, they were forced into one in the first 45.
Yeah, I think this is another one that may well be forced, Richard. George Grant is going to be coming on. The player coming off is going to be Alex Cochrane. And I know he's been carrying a little bit of knock in recent days. He didn't do full training yesterday, and obviously he's felt it again in the first half. And so he's going to be coming off, and it's going to be George Grant coming on.
Okay, Brian, thanks.
I would imagine that's a change of system.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Michael. Yep.
Well, I mean, look, you can see quite clearly that a back four can go in place there with Lembekosa at right back and Grant and Halk at centre half and Kingsley left back. It's just what are they going to do in terms of, are they going to
sorry, Kent and Halkett in central defence.
What did I say, sorry?
Grant.
Kent, yep. So Kent and Halkett at centre half. And then it's just a case of what are they going to do in the midfield. Are they going to play with Forrest out in the wide area and Vargas in the wide area? And I don't know whether it's going to be a 4-3-3 or what. Is it some sort of other system that he's going to come up with? But certainly it all looks to me as if it'll be a back four that's in place for the second half.
You talked about Alex Lowry potentially being the type of player that Hearts are missing. Is it further emphasised why they're so keen to bring Scott Fraser in?
Well, I mean, I said it in the first half. You know, I mean, whether Scott Fraser proves to be the catalyst and a player who has an impact for Hearts, time will tell. I also just feel that I'm not sure there is a game plan or understanding how to get players into those areas, because Alex Lowry was here. He wasn't used. He was used sparingly. Now, again, he should have done more. He needs to do more to force his way into the side. But there are other players in Scotland, and I have gone on about this endlessly, players at other clubs that I think are overlooked at times. There's two playing in the opposition side here that, for me, would walk into the Hearts side and improve it immensely in that regard. And that's
we should say
recruitment.
It's Cameron and McCowan are the two you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure it out. I've waxed lyrical about them.
Someone out there
Sorry,
who
Richard. Yes, I've gone on about them enough that, you know, they're two guys that can operate in those. They've got good legs, they've got good ability, they're capable of scoring goals, they're capable of creating goals. I mean, in terms of as an attacking midfielder, they've got a lot to offer. I don't see that often with the Hearts midfield. Benny Beningame does a great job in anchoring the midfield for Hearts. Neuenhoff, for me, has been brought over from Australia. I couldn't really tell you what his strengths are other than running about. And, you know, if you're going to go get somebody for Australia, I think he's got to be, you know, a fair bit better than what you could potentially be getting from people that are on your doorstep. And I don't see it.
Yeah. In terms of the goals then, Rory, have you guys had a chance to see the footage of the first one?
No.
I haven't seen it. So it was interesting because I know as Mikey used his Poirot skills to eke out of Brian that he was about to say he thought it should be ruled out. I've got to say the producer, Carl Mack, and I, both watching independently, we both thought it was going to be a given, but it was very, very tight. We've seen the line now, and basically it is Kingsley's trailing foot that plays Bakayoko onside. He's kind of leaning forward, so I can understand exactly why the linesman is flagged, or the assistant is flagged. But for me, I think the correct decision was probably made in terms of the... Yeah.
If the correct decision's been made, then great. I mean, the goal stands. We want to see goals, especially of that quality. But, you know, the quicker you can assess a situation and decide what you're going to do with the ball, the more time and space you pass on to a teammate. And it was never more relevant there because... Yeah. You know, the ball switched from one side to the other. Whilst the ball's in the air, Bakayoko has made the conscious decision that rather than take a touch, I'm going to lay it off first time. I've seen my teammate. That then buys Jordan McGee time to look at the goals, look up and go, this is where I'm going to put the ball. And that's the beauty of one-touch, fast football. It doesn't need to be a 5-10 yard pass all the time. It was a diagonal ball, a raking ball, in which quick decisions were made, and the execution of the decisions were phenomenal, and that finish was just beautiful, Richard.
Yeah, it was. It was just, he just stroked it into the far side of the net. The other goal, I know the players are just coming out, but just quickly, it was a real reward, wasn't it, for the pressing. Costello actually does really well. Not only does he win the ball, but then just nicks it through for Cameron to run onto, and it was a very composed finish, wasn't it, Roddy?
Yeah, it was. And you know, we spoke about knowing when to press, and Dundee have done it perfectly. You know, they've sat and soaked up pressure. Well, pressure, you could call it that at times, but then that one instance where they spot that weakness, and I think Michael said it came from a throw-in, they're right on it, and Costello does it. And you know, Cameron's, you know, a Duracell bunny. You can wind him up and he'll go all day. He breaks the line, non-stop running, and you know, Michael's talked about Neuenhoff running really without a purpose. Cameron running with a purpose into the right area. Cool head on him for a young man, and slots it past Xander Clark for 2-0.
Right, the teams are back out, ready to get the second half up, and running it is. Back to our commentator, Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Richard. Well, one team is out, and that's Hearts. Out early after you can only expect was a stern talking to. No sign of Dundee as of yet. Tony Docherty keeping his men inside for now, passing on a few instructions, but they were absolutely brilliant in that first half. 2 goals to the goods, and they're currently on course to go level on points with Hibernian, who are in 6th place at the moment. They need a couple more goals before they would leapfrog Hibs into the top 6, but that's where they want to be this season. Dundee, if they can, it's going to be mightily competitive, of course, and they've got games in hand on everyone around them bar Aberdeen, who they face next week, having had 2 games against the Dons postponed. And Dundee now are back out, in confirmation of that change that Brian brought us a few moments ago, that George Grant has gone off, and George Grant has come on, and Alex Cochrane has gone off, which is a blow, if that is anything like more than missing 1 or 2 games for Hearts, because he's been one of their best performers this season. And with Kai Rolls missing away with Australia, Nat Atkinson as well, and as the guys have discussed, not as many options as you would perhaps expect. That could be a tough one, and we get the game underway. Dundee, and it's immediately broken for Cameron down the left-hand side of the Hearts box. Gives it back to McCowan. Touch, then crosses at the near post. Kent intercepts. Back to Beningame, who chips it for Shankland over his head. Dodgson gets a head on it. Shankland gets back in, falls for McCowan onto Cameron. Then back to Ashcroft in the centre circle, right for the fast forward for Bakayoko, under pressure but gets a touch away, then gives it to Robinson, his strike partner, manages to turn, move towards goal, but he has it stolen off his toes, and then it's out for a Dundee throw on the far side. More groans to start the second half from a Hearts point of view, Michael Stewart.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you would imagine that they've been sent out with a clear message to start brightly and try to get the next goal in this game, but Dundee have started well. They've managed to just get themselves up into Hearts' half and knock the ball around for a few passes.
There's Boateng, gives it to Key on the far side, but the ball had been allowed to just run out, so it's a Hearts throw-in. We'll see how a shift to a back 4 affects Hearts, but then Beningame's under pressure, and now it breaks for Robinson. Robinson goes down, and the free kick is given. Rather belatedly again, and Halkett's protesting. Hearts again caught in possession within 25 yards of their own goal.
Well, I mean, it's Bingham that gets caught in possession, but to be honest, the ball that's played to him is not a particularly great ball. It's there to be won. You know, we've already spoken about Dundee putting Hearts under real pressure and closing down at the right times. That was another opportunity. I'm not sure. I think it was Halkett that had slipped it into him. I may well be wrong, but it just allowed Dundee to really close in and win the ball, and now they've got a very, very good opportunity. McCowan and Cameron over this ball, this free kick.
Yeah, 25 yards out, and it's going to be McCowan on the left foot, and it's not far away, just past Xander Clark's left-hand post. Decent strike.
Well, the Dundee fans are in that far corner away from us, and there was a lot of them that thought that was in the back of the net. Obviously, from the position they're at, looking towards the goal, they were thinking that had nestled in the top corner. Very close there from Luke McCowan.
Apologies if you picked up any fruity language over the microphones at Tynecastle. Vargas under the ball. Dodgson gets a header on it though. Rolls off the top of his head for a Hearts throw. Limbikisa to Beningame. Controls on the chest. Gives it back to Limbikisa. Going to go down the right hand side into Shankland. Tries to work it for Vargas, but it's blocked. Another throw in. Hearts just looking to inject some pace as it's thrown to Forrest, edge of the box. He's out muscled though, pretty comfortably by Ashcroft, and then McCowan comes across. He's lost out to Limbikisa, and then Costello steps in, and Limbikisa catches him. Free kick, edge of Dundee's box, and it's going to be a yellow card for Dexter Limbikisa.
Yeah, I think that's harsh. I think Costello makes a bit of a meal of it. Yeah, he's a little bit late. I think it's a free kick. I think the booking's a little bit harsh.
Going to be a Dundee change, Brian.
Yeah, Tony Docherty urging Josh Mulligan to come up and get ready very, very quickly indeed, because one of the Dundee players was down injured and he's now ready to come on. Mulligan will be coming on. The player is going to be replacing us. I think they're still having a little look at it. Yeah, the board's just about to go up. It's going to be number 17, Luke McCowan. And
he applauds the away fans as he goes, and they all get to their feet as one to applaud another good performance. I wonder if that's tactical or injury related. Suggests that he's gone down, he's walking off, and Josh Mulligan, another good young prospect, comes on. Scotland under-21 international.
I would say with some large degree of certainty that he must have felt something, because you wouldn't take Luke McCowan off at this stage, I don't think.
No, especially just after half-time. I think he did go to the ground after he had that free kick, so perhaps it was something he was carrying, and he went out for the second half to see how he would get on, or whether something happened when he hit the free kick, I don't know, but I would agree with you with a fair degree of certainty that he's gone off with a knock.
He's played every single Premiership game for Dundee. Luke McCowan scored the winner at Dens against Hearts as well. He's been fantastic again this evening. A brilliant from Dundee, fizzing it about through the lines. Here's Mulligan, then lays it into the path of Costello. Left hand side, he's up to the corner of the box. It goes past Frankie Kent, low cross in, cleared by Halkett. Dodgson gets in front of Vargas though, and Dundee still have it. Cameron along the grass to Boateng. Dodgson into Cameron. Again picking up a good position between two Hearts players. Dodgson, and his pass is blocked, and that was a bit slack, but it falls for Shaughnessy, and he'll knock it back to Trevor Carson. But again, Rory, Dundee just first time passing round the corner and getting themselves up the pitch.
Well, I spoke about decision making your decision early, and Bakayoko, you know, as a striker, especially if you're leading the line, you need to decide how many touches you're going to take, and that's vital, because you know you don't want to lay it off too early, and at the same time you can't take too many touches, and he's made the correct decision more often than not tonight.
Here's Forrest going down the left for Hearts, cross deflected, half cleared for Dundee, and it falls for Mulligan, and has he run that out for a corner? It looked like he had, and he has indeed, just couldn't keep it in. And Hearts will have a corner kick, trailing by 2-0. Nearly 6 minutes in the second half, and it's fizzed into the near post by Forrest. Carson makes the save and hacked away by Dundee.
You can see it's properly blustery out there now. The rain's bucketing down, and it's blown about in all angles, horizontal, vertical, everywhere. Not particularly pleasant for the players out there.
No, absolutely, it's more like sheets of rain coming down, but Hearts livelier than they have been in a while, coming down the left hand side. Again a cross, takes a little nick, it goes up into the air, it bounces. Frankie Kent is going after it on this near side. It's forced backwards to Limbikisa, lets it run across his body, knocks it square for Halkett in the centre circle. Halkett with the right foot to Neuenhoff, in Forrest on the left, back to Neuenhoff, backwards to Halkett. He's got Kent, who he finds with a pass over to Limbikisa. Costello's on him, touch inside, it's a heavy one, and Cameron goes sliding in. He just manages to pull out before he fouls him. Well, the advantage is being played by the referee. It wasn't a huge amount of contact, but it was late. Hearts going down the left now. Kingsley into Forrest. Kingsley on the touchline, infield to Neuenhoff. He's going to cross this into the box. It's to Vargas, but Costello gets in with a header. Shankland controls it on the chest, takes a nice little touch on the edge of the D. Outside of the boot, pass to Kingsley, who's come infield. Kent for Vargas on the right-hand touchline. Cross with the right foot. Shaughnessy's header outside the box.
That's a great defensive header. I mean, he's comfortably cleared, what, 30, 40 yards from the goal there. And it looked as if he was stretching. Hearts player was coming across and challenging him as well. Really good defensive header.
There's Neuenhoff. Hearts fans wanted to give it to Shanklin. He gives it back to George Grant. Touch, strike, blocked, and it goes behind. Better from Hearts, though.
Do you think so? I don't know. I think he takes an absolute age there. And I think by the time he passes the ball, Dundee have managed to get players back. And they want a handball and a penalty, Hearts, and the game's been paused, but it did look very close range.
Corner to Hearts on the far side. Comes in with the right foot onto the near post. Bakayoko is back to do his defensive duties and clears. Limbikisa, the only man at home for Hearts, he gives it out to the left, infield to Beningame. Touch back out towards the far touchline. And then it's a slack pass, and Bakayoko steps in, and it fortunately breaks for Costello, who's using his body well, but then he finds his pass blocked by Beningame. Mulligan has it though, round the corner for Costello. Beningame steps in ahead of Cameron, and then he loses out to Costello, and he's in the centre circle. The Dundee player moving forward, he needs support, runs out of room, he's tackled, breaks back for Cameron, who then runs out of room, and Vargas nicks it away from him. Vargas over halfway, he's got Shanklin to his right, finds him. Shanklin on the right hand side, low pass into the feet of George Grant, back to Shanklin, then along the grass to Kingsley, steps forward, he's got space to shoot on the left foot, decides to give it to Forrest on the corner of the box, he's inside the area, onto the right foot, good sliding block by Dundee, and now Bakayoko has it, he's waiting for a teammate, squares it to Cameron, who's going to try and find some open prairie for a...
Beningame's done.
Yeah, he is, he's been down a few times this game. There was loads of space there for Cameron to take his time and find the space for Jordan McGee there. He forced it. The game was really stretched there.
Well, this is more concern for Hearts. They've already lost Aidan Denham and Alex Cochrane to injury, and Benny Beningame is down. An hour played at Somerset, it's still Ayr United 0, Arbroath 0 in the big game at the foot of the championship.
What was he said at half-time, Mikey? That a Hearts midfield without Beningame was...
in dire straits.
We shall see.
Yep, it is. I mean, look, he's been caught in possession a number of times in this game, and I think psychologically he's still not 100% from such a long time out of the game. But honestly, I just think it's such a weak part of the Hearts team, and Beningame has made a big difference since he's come back from injury. They need to recruit in the middle of the park big time, and yeah, it doesn't look good. I think Benny Beningame...
I don't see him get him up. It's muscular, I think. And yeah,
aye, but I just think as well, you know, he got caught in possession before when it wasn't a particularly great ball into him. There's been a couple others where Dundee have done really well to close down, not just in, you know, 1v1, but 2 or 3 as a pack. And I just think it's gone into Beningame's head a little bit here. And yeah, I would be surprised if he's continuing.
Yeah, he's limping off. Who's coming on, Brian?
It's going to be one of the youngsters from the Hearts B team, Macaulay Tate, who's coming on. And I can tell you, I hope you're nice and dry up there, because the rain is absolutely pouring down this side of the stadium here. But yeah, Macaulay Tate coming on, and a very slow walking Benny Beningame walking up the tunnel.
That's a grim sight for Stephen Naismith and the Hearts fans. Macaulay Tate coming on for his 3rd appearance of the season, made his debut against Celtic as a sub in that 2-0 win at Celtic Park. B-team captain, 10 Lowland League appearances this season. We'll see if he can bring some oomph to the Hearts midfield, which has struggled in this game. Dundee leading by 2-0 at Tynecastle, 56 minutes played. Here's Halkett into Tate, first time pass round the corner to Kent, and on to Limbikisa. It is bucketing down. Here's Limbikisa, pass to Heuvenhoff. Hearts not with much room to work with on this near side. Tate, first time back to Limbikisa. Twists and turns, right foot to Heuvenhoff, in towards the middle of the pitch and gives it to Tate. Touch on the left foot, gets it back from Forrest. Tate out to Kingsley, gets it back. He's been involved after coming on. Tate, a few nice little touches, and the strike from Heuvenhoff! It's into the bottom corner. Well, it's an unlikely goal scorer for Hearts, but it was badly needed. Callum Heuvenhoff had a bit of space, took the shot with the right foot, low past Trevor Carson, and out of nowhere really it's Hearts 1, Dundee 2.
Well, credit where it's due, it's an absolutely brilliant goal from Heuvenhoff. I've been growing in the first half. I'm expecting more, looking for more from him. He's come up with a massive moment there from Hearts, for Hearts, because at this stage of the game you're thinking to yourself, How are they getting back into it? He recognised there was a little bit of space. He took the touch in front of him and he's lasered it into the bottom corner. An absolutely brilliant goal from Neuenhoff there.
Credit to Macaulay Tate as well. I'm not saying he did anything spectacular, but he had a few touches in the build-up to that one, just round the corner very quickly.
Yeah, and he's just nipped in there and won his team a free kick as well.
That's a big ask, you know, for him to come on in these conditions, 2-0 down as a young lad, but he started very well.
Yeah, the 18-year-old had a good impact with Hearts losing bodies to injury throughout this game. Here's Forrest, but now that has sent a jolt through Tynecastle, with Hearts having the deficit. Lembikisa into Shanklin, takes it, turns towards goal, edge of the D, along the deck till Kingsley tries the cross, blocked by McGee. Kingsley will go after it.
Well, you would imagine now there's going to be a real question asked of Dundee.
And they step in as Bakayoko intercepts. He can't get on the end of his touch, and then he's clattered into Halkett.
Why is the ref? I'm not being funny. He's given a free kick to Hearts there. Craig Halkett clattered in. Great tackle, by the way. Won the ball. Play on. I mean, if you're going to give a free kick to anybody, surely you're going to give it to Dundee to stop the game. He's decided it's a free kick, and he's going to book Bakayoko. So I think that is shocking refereeing.
See, the thing is, I agree with you, Michael, because Bakayoko recognises the situation. He tries to almost pull out, but Halkett's momentum takes him into Bakayoko. As you say, it's play on, and certainly not a booking.
And Bakayoko's come off worse as well, because he's down getting some treatment.
Dead leg.
I mean,
sore.
I mean, Craig, that is a classic old school. I mean, honestly, I thought he was going to. Personally, I thought he was going to like do Halkett for what I thought was just a good old-fashioned crunching tackle. The two players have gone into it. Halkett's won it. I mean, again, I may see a replay that sees something that I didn't see initially there, but for the life of me, I don't know why he stopped it. And I think it's incredibly harsh that he's producing a yellow card there for Bakayoko.
It also just takes the pace out of the game. Hearts will deliver this from deep as they try and force an equaliser. Having got one back through Neuenhoff, his first Hearts goal. Cross comes in, controlled initially by Neuenhoff, and then it's squirmed away from him. Soaking surface.
I was just saying before all that, you know, questions are going to be posed of Dundee here in the last half hour, because you imagine Hearts have got to up things. They're going to get their tails up off the back of this goal. There'll be a wee bit of pressure here for Dundee, but certainly so far in that first half, they looked comfortable when they were on the back foot. We'll see if they're able to handle a little bit more pressure here in the second half when it's 2-1 and Hearts are pushing for an equaliser.
Hearts did come from 2 down to draw with Ross County just after Christmas. Here's Lembikisa, and it's Costello gets a little back heel flick on it, but it's now with Vargas. Right hand side low cross. Shaughnessy steps onto it, clears it low, out for a throw in, and then there's a little bit of afters here between Craig Halkett and Zach Robinson. The Hearts defender wasn't happy with something, and then he grabbed them. They were tussling as the ball went out for a throw in. The referee's having words with both of them. 16 played in the second half, and it's Hearts 1, Dundee 2.
Yeah, Robinson did have Halkett shut. I'm surprised Halkett's reacted like that. These things happen all the time, so I'm not really sure what his problem was.
Throw to Neuenhoff. Back to Halkett. First time to Lembikisa.
Good ball.
Floated ball over the top to Kingsley in the left back position. Opens up the pitch for Hearts. He's driving forward. He's going to cross it with the left foot. Shanklin's in there. Doesn't fall for him. He's claiming for a penalty. The Hearts fans are screaming for a penalty. He went down under pressure from Shaughnessy and Ashcroft. Play on, Lembikisa. Cross with the left foot. It's over Forrest. Ashcroft gets something on it. Keeper half comes for it. Forrest's touch. Does that come off an arm? Hearts fans appeal for it, and then it's cleared by Dundee, and then Macaulay Tate. Oh, he's almost fallen over there, and he's played it straight out the park.
Right, well, it does look like Lawrence Shanklin's pulled back, but, you know, it's one of those where are they going to look at whether he had a realistic chance of getting on the end of the cross or not? We shall see, but it did look to me like he was pulled.
Yeah, and it's going to be checked. It's come up on the screens here at Tynecastle. The roar tells you as much. We'll see if Hearts and Lawrence Shanklin's are going to get a penalty here. Well, he's missed his last two. You wouldn't back him to miss 3 in a row if they do indeed get it, but it's wait and see time here at Tynecastle as the wind swirls around and the rain pours down. Miserable night, pitch absolutely sodden. It's been a good game amidst the conditions. Dundee getting themselves 2-0 in front before half-time thanks to a wonder strike from McGee. Lovely finish from Lyle Cameron. But Callum Neuvenhoff's first Hearts goal, driven in from the edge of the box just before the hour mark, sparks Hearts into life here.
It didn't look dissimilar. Obviously, I'm seeing it once live, dissimilar to the Rangers penalty up at Pittodrie, the Rangers penalty against Hearts at Ibrox in the last minute. It's maybe just looking at whether Shanklin has a clear sight at goal. He's going to the screen.
Brian's seen a replay, and you can tell us what you've seen, Brian.
Yeah,
Chris Graham goes to the monitor.
I think this will be a penalty. Shanklin's got in between the two defenders, and there's a push in the back of Lawrence Shanklin. I'm not saying he was going to get the ball, but there was definite contact from the Dundee defender. And yeah, I think this will be a penalty once the referee, Chris Graham, gets a look at these angles.
He's having a long, hard look at it now, and he's got a few fans leaning over, having a look themselves and pointing at the screen and maybe telling him what he should interpret here. But we know what usually happens when an official is called to the screen. It usually means he's going to reverse his on-field decision, which was play on,
hands are
award
up,
the penalty. We'll see as Chris Graham has a long, hard look at it. VAR is David Dickinson. He's obviously referred this. Well, he's having a really long, hard look at it, putting his arm to here. Now, for me, if it takes this long, should we be delaying the game and interrupting the game? Oh, here we go. Makes the signal. Penalty! Penalty Hearts! Lawrence Shanklin fouled in the box. There's going to be a yellow card as well for Dodgson, who must have been the guilty party. And Lawrence Shanklin already is making his mark on the penalty spot. He's placing the ball, and it will be a chance for him to score for the 7th appearance in a row. Shanklin against Carson to level things up for Hearts in this second half. Carson kicking a few things off his goal line. Chris Graham making sure there's no encroachment. He blows the whistle. Lawrence Shanklin runs up. Strikes it with the right foot, it's saved!
Oh,
Carson saves it! Low to his right. Brilliant stop from the Dundee keeper. And Lawrence Shanklin misses another penalty.
Oh, they're checking if he's off his line or somebody's encroached. Play on. That is unbelievable. Was it 15 out of 15 he scored, and now he's missed 3 out of 3? Just it's incredible.
It wasn't the worst strike either.
No, it was just
a really good
save. It wasn't the worst, but just high enough off the deck that allowed Carson to be able, if he gets over there, he's got a great chance of saving it, and he's done it. You're right though, it's a very good save.
And now Hearts have to try and build all over again. Here's Kent. Vargas, right foot, cross blocked by Costello. The momentum certainly is with Hearts, but they're going to need to fashion some more chances. Lawrence Shanklin missing.
Kingsley at that back post, he's been lucking a few times, and Bakayoko's having to go all the way back and defend against him.
Here's Forrest, controls it middle of the pitch, 30 yards out. Now it's with Macaulay Tate. Little burrow around, passes it behind Kingsley, and square for Halkett. Sweeping pass with the right foot to Limbikisa on the right hand side. He's going to try and run Boateng here. Boateng gets back really well, forces Limbikisa to check back, and he goes back again on the right foot. Wonderful ball, it evades everyone, including the goalkeeper, but there's no one in a maroon jersey to tap it in.
Brilliant play for Limbikisa, it really is. And you're right, you know, initially he tries to go past. Boateng does well, just stops it, but this boy on the right hand side, he's very clear in what he wants to do. He wants to face his opponent up 1v1. He wants to drop the shoulder and get to the byline. This time, once he faced Boateng up again, he didn't even have to burst past him. He just got half a yard. Early ball in behind the defence. He's unfortunate that nobody's gambling to get on the end of that. A great ball from Limbikisa there.
I don't know why they're not though. I said it in the first half. I mean, he's done it enough times now that
Yes.
it's criminal not to gamble.
And here he is on the halfway line, takes it on the turn, and he's chipped it in behind this time. It's not a good ball, and Carson palms it to his feet, and he's going to let Lauren Shanklin close the gap to him before picking it up. But what a big moment that was. Trevor Carson back in the Dundee side this evening, saving Lauren Shanklin's spot kick. And here's Zach Robinson in the Hearts half, can't take it under his spell. Hearts turnover possession. It's still 0-0 after 73 minutes between Ayr United and Arbroath in the Championship. An Arbroath win would take them above Ayr and off the foot of the second tier. And it's still goalless. And it's still Hearts 1, Dundee 2. 68 minutes played. Live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Here's Limbekisa, midway through the Dundee half. Gives it to Vargas on the right-hand side of the penalty area. He's going to run at Costello. Tries to get to the byline. It's blocked by Costello. Corner Hearts.
Yeah, he's done well, Costello. Like I said, he had a shaky 15 minutes at Rugby Park on Saturday, but he's been very good tonight.
And he's one that Tony Docherty said he's been keen to get in for a while. And he's got his man. It's George Grant's corner, right foot, onto the edge of the 6-yard box, flicked away by Ashcroft. Good header, helped back in by Tate. Shaughnessy's underneath it, gets a head on it. Alan Forrest now left-hand side of the box, comes in towards the 6-yard box. He takes it to the byline, keeps it in just about, and then as he crosses it, he slipped and it flies behind for a goal kick to Dundee. It's Hearts 1, Dundee 2.
Was that Costello that went to ground there? Because you just had visions of him pulling Forrest down, and Hearts getting another penalty, but he didn't touch him.
Brian, Dundee change.
Yeah, some fresh legs for Dundee with just over 20 minutes to go. Curtis Main's coming on, and I'm sure the Dundee fans will be giving him a real round of applause for the player being replaced, Amadou Bakayoko.
Yeah, it's been brilliant, Bakayoko. It's now Ayr United 1, Arbroath 0. Big goal at the foot of the Championship. Ben Dempsey has scored for the Honest Men at Somerset Park. Ayr United 1, Arbroath 0.
Bakayoko's coming back on and Robinson's going off.
It's never dull. Down on the touchline, Zach Robinson played his part, gets a handshake and a pat on the back from his manager Tony Docherty, who's screaming instructions at his player. I can only imagine he's saying, try and get us up the pitch.
Did you say Shanklin's missed 2 in a row now?
Three.
Does he take the next one?
It's unbelievable. He scored 15 out of 15, I think it was.
Who's next in line? Kingsley?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be like to be the man who tried to take it off him for the next one, right enough.
Here's it's 3 in quick succession as well. I mean, it's probably what, 4 games, 3 penalties in 4 games.
Yeah, against Livingston as well just before the break. He did score in that game. He scored in his last.
Yeah, the thing is, he scored, missed against Hibs and then scored the winner.
And then missed
against Livy and scored. Well,
is the script to be written in the final 20 minutes plus stoppage time. And here's Xander Clark at the ball, and he's gone low with a pass to Shanklin in the centre circle. He's forced back by Shaughnessy, who's come all the way with him. Then the ball for Vargas tried to take it on the spin, and he's fouled by Dodgson. He's on a yellow card. Dodgson's been a little bit rash for me on occasions, where he's done that, not exactly that same situation, but he's misread a few things. He's trying to, he's eager, he's trying to get things, but sometimes you just got to realise you can't get the ball, just hold your position there. On we go. Macaulay Tate in the centre circle for Hearts. Good ball for Forrest. He's facing and forced away. Ayr United have just scored again. It's 2-0 at Somerset Park. Ayr 2 Arbroath 0. Here's Vargas on the right-hand side for Hearts. He's going to run, or try to run. Costello fires a cross in. It's a long one to the back post. McGee gets something on it. Falls for Kingsley. Left-footed cross is a dangerous one. Vargas couldn't collect at the back post. He's hearing after it. Just keeps it in on the touchline. And he's jinked past Costello this time. Good ball, and in a Forrest with the acrobatic hooked effort over the crossbar.
Yeah, unlucky. Really good feet from Vargas. Costello gets done, hands down that time. Really, really inventive play from Vargas. Good feet. And he ticks Forrest out, who's probably just ahead of the ball. Tries his best to acrobatically hit the target, but can't manage it. Logan Chalmers with that second Ayr United's goal. They lead Arbroath by 2-0. Hearts trailing Dundee at Tynecastle by 2-1. Neuvenhoff's second half strike halved the deficit
after McGee and Cameron put Dundee 2 in front. Another Hearts change, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, this will be the final one, although it's only the fourth one of the night. Tara Oda coming on, Kenneth Vargas, the player, being replaced. Now that's 3 different changes during the open play period, so yeah, that'll be the fourth and final change for Hearts tonight.
Yeah, and 3 of them enforced, with Denham, Cochrane and Beningame all going off with injuries. And header forwards by Hearts, and Oda's going to scamper across and retrieve it on the touchline, but it's a really poor touch. He just gives it to Dodson, who then is careless with it, and it breaks for Grant. Oda controls on the right hand side of the box, lays it into the path of Grant, who gets the cross along the turf, but it doesn't beat the first man, Dodson, who takes a touch and clears. And then Tate, header to Kingsley, back to Halkett, back to Tate, centre circle. Hearts with 17 plus stoppage time to try and find an equaliser, or indeed if they can find 2. Dundee been pinned back for a while now. Here come Hearts down the left hand side. Forrest, who had that chance a minute ago, he's twisting and turning and weaving on the left hand side, dinks it into the box. It's over Shanklin. Limbakisa's header! Limbakisa scores for Hearts! Brilliant goal from the signing who's made a quick impact at Tynecastle, and it's Hearts 2, Dundee 2.
Great play down the wing for Forrest. He's turned McGee inside out, sticks it up at the back post, and Lembakisa, he's been a very good performer here tonight and adds a goal to it as well. Big time, huge goal. Game on now, serious pressure for Dundee. They're going to be able to hang on.
Dundee have lacked any offensive impetus since Luke McCowan's went off, and seems to have sucked the belief out the team. That, with a goal conceded in quick succession, has them on the ropes.
The Hearts have come back from 2 down again at Tynecastle, and now they have the old stadium with them and all the momentum, but Dundee have a throw in.
Hearts have done far better in those wide areas as well. You see, before Vargas went off 1v1 against Costello, got the better of him there. Forrest getting to the byline against McGee. Costello's he's not a defender, and you can tell he doesn't really want to be in those positions, but Hearts have done a lot better here in those areas.
Cross in for Dundee with Shaughnessy, but it's headed away now. Falls to Oda. His touch isn't the best, but his pace makes up for it. And then Lyle Cameron comes across, sliding tackle, but it's hit back off Oda, who's striding forward. He's got Dodson in front of him. He's up to the edge of the box, gets the low shot in, but deflected up into the arms of Trevor Carson, and the counter comes to an end.
Yeah, he was never really in control of the situation, I don't think, Oda. He's very much kick, head down, run. It's a little bit more guile and flair to try and pick a teammate out there.
Yeah, his first touch wasn't the best, and he got the fortune from the Cameron tackle as well. Breaks for Dundee. Mulligan gives it to Jordan McGee, who got the scoring start in the first half. Gives it back down the right hand side to Mulligan, who tries to turn inside, and he's used his strength, but he can't keep it in, and it'll be a goal kick to Hearts. And the home fans roar their team on. Zander Clark trying to go quickly, gives it short on the edge of his 6-yard box to Halkett. He's looking for some movement, doesn't get it, and he's gone long for Shanklin. Goes over him, bounces, Shaughnessy gets a head on it. Shanklin skims off the top of his head. Dodson, he's over halfway, good powerful run, gives it to Curtis Main. First touch goes down, and free kick. Oh no, it's going to be a free kick to Hearts, and it's going to be a yellow card for simulation for Dundee's new signing, Curtis Main.
Yeah, fair enough, he dived. He tried to buy the free kick. You don't often see a yellow card come out. You should see it more often, so credit to the referee there. No problem with that.
Yeah, he called it quickly. Curtis Main with the bright orange boots, not long on the pitch. He's already in the book. Back from Bengaluru in India to sign for Dundee. Been at St Mirren last season. His joint best campaign is given away by Hearts, straight to Boateng. He's up to the right corner of the box. He goes down right on the edge. Penalty! Penalty, Dundee! The referee has pointed to the spot. The Hearts players are saying, was that in the box? VAR will check it.
Well, yeah, exactly. We'll find out. My gut was that it was outside, but I mean, look, Hearts have shot themselves in the foot here with the turnover. And
the initial pass was so poor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you, Michael. I thought it was just outside, but at pace and from our vantage point, who knows? But this is going to be checked. Are Dundee about to get a penalty, and it's a free kick. It's a free kick, so David Dickinson, the VAR, has factually told the referee that it's outside, and it will be a Dundee free kick rather than a penalty, much to the relief of the home fans here.
Well, that's Chris Graham, on the face of it, got a lot of the major calls wrong and had to rely on VAR tonight to get them right.
I think you're being harsh there, Rory. Come on, that one's happens in a flash, and it's very close to the edge of the box. I don't think you can have the
I'm just saying factually. I'm not having a go at him. I'm just stating the facts.
Well, he will be, how they work it is he will be marked down for that. That's the harsh world of a referee. Here's Dodson, right corner of the box, takes a strike with the left foot, straight at Clark, who gathers comfortably, and then he's tried to go quickly, taking a swipe with the right boot, free kick given, and then a yellow card comes out for Lee Ashcroft, I think it is, and Zander Clark, well, he wasn't happy with that one as he tried to go quickly, but he really fired up Zander Clark, and he's tried to go almost instantly as the ball's gone at his feet.
Dickens must be clocking up now. There's been a good few.
Yeah, there's a slow drip of yellow cards. Tricky conditions for the players. I think that one's just a cynical one to stop a fast break as Shaughnessy comes out of defence to get a right boot on the long free kick from Clark. It's now with Oda, controls and puts it in the air over his head to Shankland, who then goes over his head to try and return it to Oda. Dodgson is there, falls for Lembikisa, who scored the equaliser, pinged with a left boot over to Kingsley. Now with Macaulay Tate, who's driving through the middle of the pitch, puts it on to the right foot into Lembikisa, who's going to drive past Costello again, gets the cross in, it's right across, diving header from Ashcroft, I think, at the back stick. But it's McGee actually who had to react.
Well, Shankland's moaning that he doesn't cut the ball back, but he's got no right to moan. You know what he's going to do, hit the middle of the goals, get between the sticks and get yourself a tap in.
I've got to agree, I really have. You know, it's just, you know, as soon as Lembikisa picks it up on the edge of the box, you could already see he's facing the full back up, trying to get past him and get the byline. He's been very good.
Yeah.
Brian, Dundee change.
Yeah, this time it will be number 9, Amadou Bakayoko, who's coming off. I don't think he wanted to the first time, and that's why the change was made. He's going to be replaced for the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time by number 18, Charlie Riley.
Charlie Riley has not started the game since his move from Albion Rovers, but looked bright off the bench against Kilmarnock at the weekend.
Yeah, he did. I was impressed.
Sensational record at Albion Rovers despite their relegation from League 2 last season, 24 goals and 19 assists. So let's see what impact he can make here for Dundee. And it's a Hearts throw-in. Lembikisa to the feet of Neuvenhoff, gets it back, goes to Kent, right for the pass, low to Halkett in the centre circle in Dundee territory. Kingsley down the left, looking for Grant or Forrest, finds neither, blocked. Here's Mulligan, uses his body brilliantly to get away from Kingsley. Now he's up to halfway, he's going to try and go beyond Tate, and Kingsley just trips him, and this will surely be another booking for a Hearts defender.
Wow, it's not.
Well, that is incredible. It's the most cynical trip you'll ever see. He's been beaten all ends up, clips his heels.
He tried it twice before he actually got it as well.
And I mean, if that's not a yellow card, I don't know really what is. Stephen Kingsley escapes. And I think that's the point that Tony Docherty is currently across making. Lyle Cameron, long diagonal. Shaughnessy controls it on the chest. 30 yards out. It's going away from the target. Across to Cameron now on the right-hand side. He's going to put a good cross into the middle, and Shaughnessy was in there and it kind of skimmed his hair as it went through and behind for a goal kick. It's still Hearts 2, Dundee 2, 82 nearly on the clock.
It's really the only time out with the free kick on the edge of the box not so long ago that Dundee have been forward. That's Halkett giving the ball away again.
Hearts slack in midfield. It's back with Tate, receives it, gives it to Kingsley. He's going to play it into the channel for Shankland to chase, but that's never going to find the Hearts striker, who of course missed a penalty with the game at 2-1. Dexter Lembikisa has headed in an equaliser for Hearts nonetheless. Goal kick Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, Dundee's games just, as much as it progressed in the first half, it's regressed and disintegrated as this second half has gone on. And you know, Rory mentioned it before, Luke McCowan going off is not the be-all and end-all, but it's certainly been a big part of it. They've just not really been able to have any control in the second half, and Hearts have obviously got their tails up with getting a goal, and the momentum has swung in their favour. And Macaulay Tate in the middle of the park, he's gotten the ball, he's kept it simple, he's kept the game ticking over, he's done well in there.
Here's Oda, got space in front of him, but Riley gets back and he forces him to turn away. Limbakisa nudges it to Neuvenhoff, a couple of nudges of the ball infield and gives it to Tate along the grass to Kingsley on the left, going down the outside, and there's a challenge in from Mulligan. Corner to Hearts as Tynecastle tries to will the ball into the Dundee net. 2 second half goals have got Hearts back on level terms. Dundee unable to get out. Grant delivers and it's headed away by Boateng. Neuvenhoff heads it to Limbakisa, who's under a spot of pressure, and hoists it back into the box. Shaughnessy wins another header, and it's a good touch from Riley, who then wins a free kick from Neuvenhoff. And Dundee will be able to...
I think he's just lost his balance. I don't think it was a foul there.
They'll be able, Dundee just able to take the sting out of the game a little bit. They need some territory, and that's why Curtis Main was brought on and trying to give them an outlet. All he's really managed to do so far is go in the book for diving. Dodgson is going to ping this with the left foot. That's poor. It's behind McGee and it's going to spin all the way out on the far side. In fact, Forrest is going to keep it in for Hearts. No, he's not, but it's a throw into Hearts, halfway line.
Tony Docherty's not best impressed with that. No wonder.
No, it was woeful, but Hearts slack just behind Tate, and Cameron couldn't quite get there, much to his fury as he looked to pounce. Frankie Kent takes it over the halfway line. Hearts pushing for a winner. 5.5 minutes left of the 90. It's 2-2. Here's Limbakisa, who levelled this game up. Tries to go down the outside. Riley stood firm. Back to Neuvenhoff. Back to Ken. Hearts fans unhappy that they're going backwards, but they're recycling. Halkett steps onto the game. He drives forward, gives it to Kingsley on the left touchline. Fizzes it to the feet of Forrest. He's right on the touchline on the far side. He's got 2 men in front of him, and Mulligan gets a tackle in as Forrest tries to skip by him. Throw in far side. Hearts aiming to keep the tempo up. Forrest breaks for Tate. Kent now middle of the park, and he's chipped one into the box. Shaughnessy header flicked away by Cameron on the edge. Kent into Tate. Pass to Forrest. Just moving up towards the penalty area. Shanklin leaves it for Oda. Oda with a strike! Oda with a goal! Yutan Oda puts Hearts in front! Come back, complete at Tynecastle. Hearts 3, Dundee 2.
Well, it's good inventive play from Shanklin to step over the ball. I wasn't sure Oda had that in his locker, that first touch, but my goodness, lovely first touch, sets himself up and finds the back of the net with a lovely finish. Not sure if it takes a deflection, it may have done, but all the credit goes to Hearts for this comeback.
It must have taken a deflection. It must have, because just the way it goes into the net. Trevor Carson looks stranded, wrong-footed, but it's a really, really good work move up to that point. As you said, Oda, good touch because it allows him to get the strike away. Huge credit to Hearts for coming back in this game as well. They look absolutely out of it, dead and buried at half-time. To come back and win 3-2, huge, massive result.
And certainly they're on course to go 8 points clear of Kilmarnock in third spot. Games in hand, and the goal was being checked. I'm not sure what for, but it's, as they all are, but a wee delay, but has it been given? I think it has. Yeah, the referee's waiting to play on. Yeah, on we go. And Dundee utterly shell-shocked as they give the ball. Oda didn't get there. And now here's Charlie Riley into the Hearts box. He's cut it back, and Hearts clear it just in time. I think it was Forrest who got in there and stopped a tap-in.
That's a vital clearance. Forrest is brilliant to get back, because as soon as Riley plays that ball, it's just behind the Hearts defence who are running in towards their goal, and I think it was Mulligan that was coming round the back, and you were thinking he was going to get on it, but Forrest great recovery run from him to get back and clear it.
Shaughnessy's going to launch the throw in into the box. Shanklin misses it. It's still not clear. Boateng helps it towards goal. Mains at the back post, but Clark got there first. The Hearts goalkeeper calms things down. No, he doesn't. And then he tries to go quickly with the right foot and he sliced it into the air. Riley cushions it to Shaughnessy. Touch, foul by Neuvenhoff. And a lack of composure from Xander Clark.
He was convinced by the crowd there, Michael.
Well, I think you're right. You know, you've got 3 players for Hearts bombing forward there to try and get another goal. They've been 2-0 down. They've got it back to 3-2. It's not a case of shutting up shop, but the ball's in the goalkeeper's hands. Just calm things down. There's no need to go forcing it and rushing. There's 2 minutes to go. And now Dundee have got a free kick inside the, 40 yards to go.
Dodgson goes square to Cameron. Touch. He's under pressure from Shanklin. Gets away from him. Then hoists it in. It's blocked. Away. Back to Boateng. His pass for Dodgson isn't a good one. Dundee starting to lose a wee bit of composure. It's dinked into the channel. Limbikisa goes back. He's looking for a bit of support. Moves it out his feet and clears it. And it's into the chest of Grant under the auspices of Dodgson. And he forces it out for a throw-in. And Ayr United have beaten Arbroath by 2-0 in the Championship. Big result. Ayr moving 5 points clear of the foot of the table where Arbroath remain. Here's Dodgson for Dundee, who were 2-0 up at half-time. I mentioned they'd only lost 1 of 9 when they'd scored first in the league this season. Well, they're on course to make it 2-10.
Beningame going off is it 2-0, Michael? When Beningame went off?
Was it 2? What's the point you're trying to make? Well,
just coincidence. It's just coincidence.
Come back to me, Rory, when he's out the team for a few weeks, and we'll have a discussion about that.
In all seriousness, Tate has.
Here he is, Macaulay Tate, up to the edge of the box. He's tried to slip it through for Grant. It's just a yard in front of him. Unlucky. As you were saying, Rory, Macaulay Tate's done well.
Yeah, and Michael's right. He's not done anything spectacular, but anything he has done, he's done very well.
Long from Trevor Carson. Kingsley hacks it out. Dundee aren't done yet. And it appears we're going to get about 6 minutes of added time. We've got 10 seconds left in the 90. It's Hearts 3, Dundee 2. Hearts coming back from 2 down at the break. Dodgson for Dundee, chips it forward. Shaughnessy's up there, gets a head on it. Cameron goes across, beaten to it by Grant. He keeps it in, and he's given it away to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy is going to cross it into the box. It's there for Riley at the back post. Then he takes a swipe and misses it. It's 8 minutes of time here at Tynecastle. 8 minutes for Dundee to try and find an equaliser. It's breathless stuff now. Hearts still guilty at times of giving the ball away. Throw-in to the feet of Neuvenhoff. Sent long and out for a throw-in. Well, if it is going to be Hearts winning 3 goals, none of them have come from Lornan Shanklin, which you wouldn't really have predicted pre-match. He did miss that penalty.
No, and I didn't see Hearts. Yes, if they got one, I could have seen them nick. This is at half-time. I could have seen them maybe getting a draw out with this, but they've exceeded what I thought they were capable of by taking the lead.
Limbikisa has played a big part in getting them back in this game, but his pass forward is cut out. Now it's with Riley in the Hearts half for Dundee. Lovely turn, and he's slipped it in for Costello, who's chasing it. Ball's in the box. Can he pick it across? It's back for Curtis Main was waiting. Brilliant interception from Craig Halkett.
Absolutely brilliant on the full stretch there to block that.
And now here's Oda for Hearts, breaking forward. Shanklin's with him, as is Forrest, is screaming in it for it on the left-hand side. It's still Oda, edge of the box, shot, block, Forrest to the back post! He touches it in, the flag is up for offside. And Forrest, well, obviously he'll be checked, he did look offside, but if this doesn't count and it's offside, he'll be wondering why he didn't receive a pass about 10 seconds earlier.
Well, forget about Forrest. Shanklin's standing in front of Oda, holding himself on line, making a run. I don't know what Oda was doing. Absolutely breathless stuff, and the Hearts captain's probably thinking the same thing. Just slide it down the line. He's holding his position. He's obviously been given as an offside.
Yep, confirmed as offside with played 2 of the 8 added minutes here at Tynecastle. Hearts 3, Dundee 2. Dundee utterly shell-shocked, having been 2 goals to the goods. But I have to say, there's not a great deal of composure on show out there, so there could be another twist to come. Frantic stuff. It's going to be a throw-in to Hearts inside their own half. Kingsley's drying the ball. The rain has relented for now. Kingsley strides forward, flings it down the touchline. Shanklin having his shirt pulled there, but wins the throw-in regardless. And Hearts now not really in any rush, as you would expect, as Kingsley dries the ball with that maroon jersey again, throws it to the feet of Forrest, gets it straight back, then wins another throw-in off Mulligan. And Hearts will look to eat up the time. They've played 3 of the 8 added minutes. So Dundee with 5 minutes to find an equaliser. And Hearts claim for a handball. It's cleared by Dundee over Curtis Main though. And Frankie Kent controls comfortably. Main goes across. It's fizzed into Nimbakisa. Takes it back to goal, right hand side. Again showing those fast feet. Little back heel, and then he crosses to the back post. And it's McGee who's had to just send the header back where it came from. Not the most convincing. Out for a throw-in on this near side. Hearts 3, Dundee 2.
Yeah, he's been by far and away the best player on the pitch. Nimbakisa, very good, very impressed.
And it was his goal that levelled things up before Oda's strike. Puts Hearts 3-2 to the good. Here is Oda, controls the throw-in. He's trying to just keep it in that corner. Lyle Cameron comes across and he's put it out for a corner to Hearts. And Hearts will just take their time, probably just go short and keep it in here as they try and increase their advantage in 3rd place, which really did not look likely at half-time. Shankland receives the short corner right in there. He's going to try and use that body. And he goes down, doesn't get the free kick. Dundee trying to hack it away, and in the end, Shankland's penalised for lying on the ball. Dundee try and go quickly, and then George Grant's pushed over. Is that by Dodson?
Yeah.
It's already been booked.
And had a couple of fouls since the booking.
6 Dundee yellow cards. Just the one for Hearts. And Boating flicks the long ball on. Costello hits off his back, falls for Boating again. He's gone down the left, but he had no room, and he's forced to put it out, really. And the Hearts have a throw-in, and we've played 95 minutes. 98 are scheduled. Ayr United have beaten Arbroath in the Championship by 2-0. Hearts 3-2 in front against Dundee. Live on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Fantastic game of football. Neuvenhoff's flick, it's fallen for Main though. Dundee trying to work something, but Riley miscontrols on the touchline. And that'll be a Hearts throw-in. And Tony Docherty will be devastated with his side second half display. He's not really fired a shot since the break. They still have time though. Riley heads it to Boating, Shaughnessy and Costello on the left hand side. Hearts swarm him, gets it through to Riley, deflects away and on to Shaughnessy, who helps it forward but nowhere near a teammate. Hearts clear, it was back to the centre circle where Ashcroft collects. He chips it forwards, header from Halkett, spins off his head, then Boateng with a touch, it's bouncing about. Lyle Cameron tussles with Grant, who's won it, turns away from Cameron, outside of the boot, pass to Shanklin on the left hand side. Good play from George Grant. Shanklin's on the left, he's not really interested too much in going forward, just wants to try and retain possession and eat up some more time. We've played 6.5 of the 8 added, and Xander Clark almost, well, he has shelled it straight out, and he's just lacked a bit of composure at his distribution in the last 10 minutes or so. Dundee throw down the line, flicked on by McGee. Main chases it, Halkett gets there first, and then Alan Forrest just keeps it in on the left-hand touchline. Excellent from Forrest. Ashcroft dispossesses. Infield to Cameron on the halfway line. Right-footed pass to Dodson. He comes over, he's got Costello to his left, gives him the ball, then he's trying to make an underlapping run. Costello comes in field, little back heel, into Dodgson. He's got Limbakisa in front of him, he's got no support whatsoever. Limbakisa harries him, he's coming in field, he's retained the ball well, but he needs a pass. Gives it to Boateng, square, middle of the pitch. He's going to loft it into the box. Costello controls it, and it's with the arm, and he's penalised, and Hearts will have a free kick, and they have about 30 seconds to eat up.
Yeah, he probably was a wee bit too hard on the contact there, Costello. Needs to angle his body slightly better.
Yeah, and that might be that for Dundee. We waxed lyrical about them in the first half, the way they were disciplined, the way they used the ball when they had it, how efficient they were, how they harried Hearts at times. But this second half, since Ivanhoff drove in the first, they've barely got out of their own half, and there's the full-time whistle. What a huge victory for Heart of Midlothian as they look to nail down third spot in the Scottish Premiership. A brilliant return in the end from the winter break to league action for Stephen Naismith's side. They maintained their unbeaten run to 7 games, but boy oh boy were they made to sweat and work hard. 2-0 down at the break thanks to a brilliant strike from Dundee's Jordan McGee and another calm finish from Lyle Cameron. Dundee looked so comfortable at that point. They were in control, but Hearts, as soon as they got one through Callum Neuvenhoff on 57 minutes, his first Hearts goal driven in from the edge of the box, low past Trevor Carson. The momentum was with them. They tried to build on it, and they managed to. They upped the tempo. Dundee couldn't really get out. They got a penalty for a foul on Shanklin that was awarded via VAR. Shanklin missed it. The third penalty he's missed in a row. Carson flung himself low to his right. It was a brilliant stop, but in fairness to Hearts, they didn't let that deter them. They kept going, they kept coming. Forrest down the left-hand side, great cross, and Dexter Limbakisa on his first Hearts start nodded in the equaliser. Brilliant header to cap a brilliant performance, and finally the winner came on 86 minutes. Brilliant touch and finish from Yutaro Oda, the substitute. He got the help of a deflection, but it doesn't matter for Hearts and Stephen Naismith. A massive win as they stretch 8 points clear of Kilmarnock and put distance between themselves and the rest in third spot. And Dundee trudged down the tunnel, wondering what might have been as they surrender a 2-goal lead. A sore one for Tony Docherty and his team. Well, what a night for Hearts at Tynecastle as they continue their good form. Brilliant game of football as the Premiership returns from the winter break. It finished here at Tynecastle. Heart of Midlothian 3, Dundee 2.